Okay, here we go. The topic for today is that I woke up too early because my grandma always screams too loud at my door, and it was so loud that even though I was down in the basement, it was like she was screaming into my asshole. So then every time I confront her on that every few months, she builds up brownie points with Satan's asshole to dial it up rotary phone style, as we know, and demand that he save her from ever facing any fucking consequences to being the worst fucking person to live with of all time. So now I'm really pissed off. So now I get to rant at you till 12 because I don't get to sleep till noon. So the topic today is interviewers. So, everybody gets interviewed for different reasons, but of course celebrities are constantly getting interviewed the most, and that's who you see the most because, entertainment's so fucking fun. And I like making fun entertainment, but there's also the negative side of it. And so I figured if I'm feeling negative as my skull shifts, I might as well curse people with it. So let's look up some interviews. I'm just going to start with Sloan Morgan the Seagull because he has a new tack to supposedly deal with interviews. We'll start there. It doesn't really matter. Let's see here. We'll just, some of these don't actually have anyone there interviewing him. I don't know. Is this just one where he's talking? I think so. Okay, fucking people need to stop. Okay, you see how many snaps there were as I tried to go to watch the video? I think there's about 10 now. There used to be none, and now everybody's different cell phones all think they have to sync to watching the video as I watch it. I know what's fucking happening, guys. Sync. Everything's syncing up different technologies until finally I get the fucking privilege to watch a fucking video. It delays my life by several seconds every time I go to watch a video. And you know what I'm doing during those seconds? Thinking, oh man, this time there should still only be 8 people type devices syncing to the fucking live stream. But instead, there's always another one, And I always have to fucking count because I have to keep track of how they're fucking me over because I haven't been paid. So then it's like, okay, now there's 10 fucking different types of devices of portability, I assume, that everyone's plugging their assholes into. So, more energy, making my computer chug harder as you all fucking think you can link in as different forms of spying through different programs that were available on different Windows operating systems fall away and become incompatible with your shitty little assholes. Because I know you fucking guys aren't compatible with Windows 7. And you're just fucking forcing it, aren't you? So when you're fucking listening anyways, so you might as well enjoy my rants. Yeah, okay, there's nothing there. All right, here's how you start being human. I'll give you an example.
Hey, Sloan Morgan Seagull.
Wait, this one also. Okay, this is fucking unheard. Okay, there we go. There's the fucking asshole. Let's see here. I've never. Okay, this actually starts in with Sloan Morgan Seagull talking first. That's unusual. Usually an interview will never allow that. Interviewer. Sloan Morgan is more aggressive than anyone else. I'm starting with him because he's made progress.
Sloan Morgan Seagull, and what did you mean by title? Sorry.
You can just say, and I'm an actor.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Wow. Damn, he's fucking, as an interviewer, fucking modifying his interview before I can get to it. I'm not fucking kidding. Now he's gonna be the fucking hugest fucking son of a cuck you've ever seen.
I was like,
Watch
I
this.
I don't know. My autobiography is I'm Sloan Morgan Siegel. I'm an actor, comic enthusiast, and yeah.
So talk about Sloan, you've been acting for a long time. How did you get into the craft of acting? Because it's not an easy thing to get into.
Yeah, you know, you'd be surprised because it's not an easy.
All right, so the guy's just asking questions that are assigned. Okay, so there's nothing wrong there. I just like, what the fuck am I looking at? Every fucking time I went to look up his interviews or anyone else's before, it's just a wall of fucking negativity. I'm actually fucking shocked. As though as I attack, then everyone retreats. Okay. Clicking.
The first episode of the last 7 episode.
Hey, Fanboy Nation.
This is your pal Daffy Duck, and you're watching.
We're watching. Yo, what? In Titans, but he's voicing them in Gotham Knights.
Well, I mean, you know this guy's a piece of shit.
For some reason, this guy right here isn't playing Tim Drake in Titans, but he's voicing him in Gotham Knights. Sloan Morgan Siegel.
For some reason, he gets to start off the interview with a nebulous statement that he can't believe that something is not going on or going on with the actor. That is extremely invasive and would basically be declaring who he gets to work with, what studios, for what reason, how much he gets to orgasm during the fucking scenes. This guy, he's thinking all of it at once. And then that statement proves it. I mean, he's just a big fucking shitlog parasite. So, now let's watch Sloan Morgan Siegel be a bitch.
How are you, man?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me. I'm fantastic.
You know, we're keeping it all.
Hey, look at that. So you see, he made a shitty fucking comment. Then Sloan Morgan Siegel, all he did was fucking stab him in the balls 18 trillion times in his head. But out loud, he cucked out like the biggest motherfucker of all time and pretended he'd let the comment slide and just greet him like it was just a greeting. So now he looks like a total fucking cuck, and he should expect 20 man babies to show up, demand pictures of his younger sister that are nude, then stab him over and over again all over the body because he can't defend himself because he's such a little fucking bitch. Alright, let's jump to a random spot in the interview. Man babies, kill every actor who can't defend himself. You've attacked me enough. Now it's time to make other actors' lives a living hell just because they look weak in interviews. I'm not fucking kidding. I'm encouraging everyone. If you see an actor take it like a bitch during an interview, then really build up those points like you want to murder them because you can get away with it. Because these actors are so fucking gay-ass weak that you can just stab them and then just say, oh, no, you survived. Nah, you can't get me. I'll just come back next week and stab you. I didn't finish you off yet. And what does the actor do? Oh, this is just an interview. This isn't real life. Yeah, stab me some more. So kill all the actors, including Sloan Morgan Siegel. He's a bitch and he deserves it. Stop fucking acting positive, you stupid bitch. This is a negative fucking apocalypse, and I hate you for it. You'll never get to directing my Lord of the Rings because you're too busy being a bitch. Grow the fuck up.
I kept saying that he should direct Marvel stupid shit.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's about all he's capable of is some silly Marvel shit.
Yeah, I know.
Because he's a fucking
Like,
cock.
since everybody's different, I love to see what people do. And like, I'm not totally against when people just totally revitalize a character. You know, like Heath Ledger's Joker was, I would say at the time, a very far deviation from the character. But at the same time, it was probably one of the most, if not the most, fantastic representation of it. You know, I mean, Mark Hamill's gonna always be my favorite Joker.
You know what I have to say? I'll just say 2 words: super pets. That's what I have to say about DC.
He's just that voice, man. That laugh, oh man, he's absolutely hands down my favorite Joker.
Right. No, voice-wise, he's the king. You know, Jack Nicholson, of course, is.
There we go. I was thinking about looking up Jack Nicholson interviews next, and there he said it. So let's move on to that.
Yeah, but just so everybody's aware, this interview, why it's so horrible, because we're not going to beat around the bush, is because I said Sloan Morgan Siegel should direct Marvel stories.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, get him ready for doing other things, because
Yeah.
Marvel's fucking stupid, so it doesn't matter how big of a retard he is, he could still be in something stupid. Now, that guy is saying, "Oh man, you did Tim Drake out of nowhere, and here's the reason why, is because actually we just didn't want you to do Grant's project."
Yeah, it's absurd, it's stupid, and if he cucks out that hard to him, how's he ever gonna do any project?
Right? That's what I'm saying. He needs to get out of the school projects and into the actual projects.
Mm-hmm.
Or else his nuts will be left quaking in the dust like it's a tornado/Super Bowl in the middle of nowhere.
Well, I mean, he's already been hiding in, like, Mormon zones. Like, I can interact with the Mormons. You see, they think that if you're under the age of 16 and you get a little smooch from someone of the opposite gender who's the same age as you, you might end up in the bishop's office, and he'll explain to you that you gotta be old enough for all them touchy-feelies. That's who he's been hanging out with, so no wonder. Weird, because I hung out with Mormons, and maybe it was just because it was me, and it was Nevada, but everybody was like, fuck, shit, piss on the Mormon floors, like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, they use their place as a community center.
It's a community center, and you say to the prophet overlord at the headquarters in every aspect of life, if it's corporate, if it's sports, if it's entertainment, whatever, if there's some big man who thinks he's real big and everyone's sucking his ball sweat, then you just pretend like you give a fuck, but you don't give a fuck. You just say, we're totally worshiping well, brethrens and sisterins. Oh yeah, no need to come check on our sect. We're really keeping up the fucking, bowing and scraping to Satan. Then you fucking turn right around and you keep playing horse. You keep fucking running up and down the halls. You keep making up bullshit. That's not what these people are doing.
They're letting their balls get slapped. They're getting nut checked every 3 seconds and not fucking slapped.
It's because they're acting like, I mean, it's like they're receivers. Excuse me, but I believe you're talking into a microphone. So you need to expel sound that is aggressive.
You need to give, not receive.
Yeah.
And that should sound sexual to you because you're trying to fuck them over. Because that's all they're trying to do to you. That's why it's so pointless. I don't understand. I kept recommending to everybody, just do a fan interview. Nobody gives a shit about somebody who doesn't like you that you don't know. That doesn't make that, like, interview edgy or entertaining. What they want to know is, like, anything interesting that's happened.
Yeah. Here we go. Famous celebs who got banned from talk shows. Okay. Let's click on that. You see what I'm saying? They're even aware. Everyone's fucking aware of what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, let's watch Jennifer Lawrence too. Yeah.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Because only the negative people are super aggressive in interviews. So Jennifer Lawrence is so negative that she's like, raping at everybody. So you'll watch her just tear into somebody's asshole for the slightest comment.
Yeah.
Just, like, absolutely rip the foundations of their house off of its fucking hinges, out of its fucking posts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is that Jack Nicholson thing where she goes fucking nuts and acts like Jack Nicholson exists and it offends her because it's her B-day or something nuts?
Why are there no Jack Nicholson interviews? Instead, there's everyone pretending they're Jack Nicholson or talking about him. It's kind of fucking insane. What the fuck is going on?
He's been kind of sidelined since he, actually wasn't a horrible person in every regard.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? This is why I looked him up. They're just hiding really any fucking interviews where he's just sitting down with someone and just fucking talking with an interviewer. Because he never put up with shit. I never saw him really put up with shit.
Well, I mean, Jack, I'll tell you a story about Jack.
Tell me a story. Tell me a story. Every other actor cucking out to the audience for Jack Nicholson because he won't do it. Wah! Okay, let's go straight to the Jennifer Lawrence.
We did talk to both leading ladies. That's exactly right. Anne Hathaway, Jennifer Lawrence, they got their Oscars. They bumped them, and then they had a lot of...
Really exciting. It was just really shocking. I think that's the first time I think I've ever felt like actual shock.
We could see it. Oh, you got a fan here.
No politics,
Jack, no?
George. What about
If you want to talk politics, we can.
I mean, right there, he says, no politics unless you're talking about Ammon and Grant in jail. But he's, still too cowardly to say our names. But, he brings it up directly and says that all news-type people that do interviews are actually the return of the fucking concentration camps. This man here and Jennifer Lawrence would toss anyone into a concentration camp and then eat cake all night.
She looks like she's being...
Thank you. Yeah, you're being really rude.
Yeah, see, he comes in because she was talking about him and how she was scared of him. Everybody's seen this. And then he grabs her shoulder, not aggressively, like it's friendly. Yeah. But you see, you get to do that because she's been talking about you. So you come in and you tap her on the shoulder and say, old chum, since you're fucking born from some woman from 1882, you're from my generation. And so he interacts with her that way, as if she's supposed to be more than a demon baby because she's built like she is, supposedly. And she just says, no, you're rude. Just like my stupid fake connected sister-in-law, Heidi. Everything's rude. Now I win. Just instantly. And you all know what happened to Heidi in 2019. Her bowels grew to death. Her head grew to death. Same thing with Jennifer Lawrence. Boy, are they dead from overgrowth.
Yeah, and Jennifer Lawrence here, she'll do this in any interview too. You even slightly offend her, unlike all these other actors, and because she's bad. And she'll be like, I ought to fucking cut your throat. I ought to bleed you out in the street, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Sloan Morgan would be like, oh, Jack Nicholson, oh, even if he was being a bitch.
I mean, I should have known that Hathaway was also going to turn into a feminazi because Lawrence and Hathaway shine. The fact they're even putting their names together means that from interview Nazi's point of view,
from his point of view,
they're the same peas in a pod. So that's all we need to know, because he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, you can kind of follow a line with other people's dialogue, even when they've met people, and kind of understand who and what people are.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I love Jimmy.
Oh my god, thank you. I loved all your movies.
Yeah, you see, just saying what I was saying. Okay, you get the point. Everybody's seen the rest.
Yes. The deal or the no deal.
Wow.
Not, he screams at you.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like the type of guy who'd get banned from the local soccer association. That's all you need to know.
Exactly. For shin kicking.
Yeah. Vince Vaughn, the Kardashians, Howie Mandel. Who gives a crap about any of these people? Kathy Griffin. They're pointing out the most fucking boring people who were never banned from anything. Howard Stern, never banned. Madonna, never banned. Jay Leno never banned. This is stupid. Oprah Winfrey. They're just naming names.
Wow.
Gilbert Godfrey? Come on. That's the dumbest list I've ever seen. It's just fucking smokescreen.
In the car, and he said,
It's not even an interview.
He looked like a fucking cartoon character, though. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
He looked like so cartoony.
Yeah. All right, let's look up Matt Damon.
Ooh, Matt Damon. Yes, only the negative people will clap your ass cheeks when you fucking are rude to them.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Damon's a negative piece of shit all the time. So let's see. Let's watch him with Jimmy Fallon. Let's watch them be rude to each other.
Matt Damon's gonna like just he always.
Guest is an Oscar winner starring in the new film Stillwater, which opens in.
Wow, you see, because everybody really wanted to get to playing the video, it started playing before all the devices synced in and locked. So when I went to click, to change the volume, I still had to wait 3 to 5 seconds as it blared through my speakers too loud, because everybody else gets the privilege of first tuning in before I can adjust my own fucking settings. Thank you, guys. Even though I'm doing a live stream and you can watch it the official way.
Yeah.
Theaters July 30th. Please welcome Matt Damon.
Mr. Matt Damon, you know you can't bear your mission to get your daughter out of jail. Mr.
Your daughter what? I can't even hear what he's saying. Whatever, who cares?
Oh yeah, also over and over again. Fair use criticism, the end.
But yeah, these are interviews. They're publicly available. Like,
I just mean that on top of that fair use for criticism, I mean, they can't fucking, specifically what I'm saying is right now, we are doing nothing but criticizing infinite different people and subjects.
yeah.
And so I expect people to understand that why I'm repeating fair use is Jimmy Fallon likes to pretend like everybody's violating his butt airspace and that every cock in existence is a threat to his little tiny little woman hips. So I'm telling him he doesn't get to complain when he's proven to be a bully and Matt Damon.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been an interviewer then.
Okay, yeah. Disclaimer. They're assholes and they'll try to respond with more asshole behavior.
You wanna see her, you got to go to France.
Just a second. Matt Damon, yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's so fun. You know, Matt Damon was in a Hot Ones interview. And in that interview, he described how he was so negative, so conflictual in the early 2000s, or was it the 90s? I don't even remember. He probably doesn't even remember what specific date it was, even though he acts like he does. He was complaining about the enemy team and acting like as if they were Hitler. But, I mean, it's not baseball, and you're sort of heckling from the sideline. So he almost nearly gets beaten to death, he says, and he's so proud of it. While eating spicy chicken wings. So proud in that Hot Ones interview of almost getting beaten to death by a basketball player on the sideline. Now, Kirsten just felt me whining about how big of a pig she was, and since she's sponsoring this whole rant here, she had to knock on the door. But this time she had to do it with a regular amount of knocking force and talk through the door at a regular amount of force. And I went out and talked to her, and she spoke in a regular voice rather than screaming at me, because I told her to do so. But what was she bringing up? That she spent $5,000. I mean, no, of course I spent $1,000 or $2,000 on kitchen cleaning stuff, computers that are super cheap, that actually are completely new technology that let me develop my 5 different extensively long movies I'll never get paid for. So she just comes in whining because she spent thousands of fucking dollars on stupid fucking outfits from the thrift store. Whether they cost $5 or $50, she buys them, matching tops and bottoms, shows them off to me, parades them through night and day like she's living the high life, while I have no fucking clothes. And every time I go to the thrift store, there's nothing there except aggressive men that try to beat on me as I kill them all. Then I still have to look for clothes that fit me, and because I'm more muscular and larger than every fucking male in existence, I don't find anything hardly at all unless it's military or something. Then I have to wear military clothing, then beat more people to death in town. Like, for example, I went to the tanning salon last night, and there's all these fake fucking military people hanging around in the parking lot. So I'm wearing an army shirt because it actually fucking fits me from the thrift store. And it's just an Adidas brand, you know, official army side shirt, you know, you can buy for cheaper because you're poor or whatever. Of course I was in the fucking military in a different lifetime that's connected to this one, because I live all lifetimes. And so, the point here is, he was pacing around the fucking parking lot, being a murderer, acting like he's all... They always stand all stupid fucking military like they have a board up their back, which is not military. They just look like fucking morons. Pacing around, trying to act aggressive. As we come into the parking lot, like 5 different old dudes who are like, you know, 50 to 80, all looking military haircuts and trucks, all simultaneously get into their trucks and all pull out at once as they're the military crew, leaving behind the younger guy in his 20s to feel all of their expert, built-up, butthurt, rotten hormones as they somehow transfer it to him as he paces around continuously like a rat in a cage out in the small parking lot while we go in to do our relaxing tanning beds, while he imagines that he can prevent us from relaxing even though he's the tiniest twerp ever. And there used to be like 8-foot tall guys I was killing there who would be in the business I would beat to death before getting to do my fucking light beds. What do you fucking think the light beds are, guys? Just a second. Another interruption.
You can try this one. Sure. You transfer it. I don't know if it'll take off, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's whatever the amount they
I had a city
offer.
one, but I found out you can't transfer from another city card to another one.
Yeah, this one's...
That's freedom something. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever that... What's that symbol there, though? Is that Chase? Is this something else? What is this?
Maybe it'll say somewhere.
I guess it is just Freedom Unlimited. It doesn't say anything else. It's a new card. Yeah, I guess we can try out for this. What is it? Sometimes they'll say what the expected amount of balance you'll be available.
I know,
It doesn't say that anywhere. Huh. Well, I guess I'll try out. I'll do it online, I guess.
So anyway,
Yeah.
don't do
Yeah.
anything more on my phone.
Yeah, alright.
Get rid of calls.
Alright. See what Kirsten does, my grandmother, who says that she's my mother, so then she can apply all of the murder she wants to my existence without the mothering feelings. Because I doubt she's even my grandmother. She looks nothing fucking like me. And just talks about her hair is similar to mine. She can curl it more, and then she owns me. She's fucking nuts. She's the heart of the infection. Anyways, yeah, she wanted me to try out for this credit card because she acts like she's incapable of doing that or acknowledging it needs to be done even until I bring it up. But she'll eagerly bring up how much she's spending on clothes at the thrift store because she has a policy every fucking year that we, supposedly have any money of any type. Whether it's credit or actual funds. Because everything's an illusion anyways. Who gives a fuck? So then she just says, oh no, we don't have big debt right now. Fuck you, Paula, for talking to Kirsten first last summer and being convinced that Kirsten's so fucking responsible and I'm just a weight on society. Oh, I'm such a fucking weight. Well, anyways, 2010, say we had the most money, the most farm crops being sold, the most energy left in my shriveled loins. No, they're not shriveled, but I'm just making the joke. So maybe we made an excess of, say, $20,000, I'm going to assume. I mean, we made up to $100,000 that year. We paid everything off. We cleaned up everything. And then she started panicking and hyperventilating constantly. And she'd just say, I'm so worried we're not in debt. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Then she just went out to the thrift store and bought, I don't even know, because a new thrift store opened up, Savers. And so every other thrift store would always have nothing really there that's that expensive. So she just went there when it was new. And they had the prices all high like it was a department store. And she just bought whatever clothing and bedding she wanted. But it was like department store prices. So thousands of dollars vanished instantly. $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Till she'd used up everything all the way instantly. In 1 month she did it. Then it was all trash. We never used any of it. None of it. Then all of those clothes and blankets just sit around, and most of the clothes have been taken back to the thrift store and exchanged back into the system. And you see what she's doing is there's alkaloids and germs all over the clothing, and she's actually picking up a vibe from all you fucking cretins and trying to cycle clothes because everybody's using sodium dish detergent and everything. So everything keeps getting stinkier, dirtier, more explosive, more cancerous. So there you go. That's what you've generated. You've generated infinite cancer, Grandma, guys. And I really appreciate my life being ruined as she makes up fucking bills. Now let's see Matt Damon, who's at least half responsible for her existence.
Are you kidding me? Man. Come on.
That's so good.
You can't beat that feeling, right?
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, it is the greatest.
What feeling? Okay, the feeling that you're smug and that you get to be up there and not other people.
That's why he's Matt Damon.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
I love watching his, this side of his face isn't sagging, but the other side, he just spends less than 1 minute a day thinking positive thoughts. And so it's causing actual seizures into his brain on the other side of his face.
Oh yeah, you can see it in the Hot Ones interview where
yeah.
he hot sauce. It makes his
You see this? That's him saying he'll never once say anything positive to anyone, and it's killing the motherfucker. He's so fucking piggy.
I mean, he admits to it constantly.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome back. That's great.
Thanks for coming on the show and coming here live in studio. We appreciate this.
Yeah, I'm so lucky to have come tonight.
Yeah,
what a big night.
It is a big night for us. Yeah,
All right, I'm nitpicking, right? He's so lucky. Okay, when he said that, he took a breath before saying it. Breathed in. Then as he spoke, instead of expelling all of the oxygen, whatever sound straight out of his mouth, he has this point on his chest where he pushes some of the air against it and at his chest. Then it's his fake humble. Then it pushes a little bit of oxygen into a part of his brain where there's bacteria that wish he would be positive. As he says, no, I'm a fucking demon. I'll fucking stab all of you and give you limited amounts of fucking oxygen to survive on. Because I win and I'm God. And so I'm being fake positive only because I'm murdering and torturing innocent people at the moment. That's how bad of a man he is.
He kills his own brain cells, in other words, to feel like he's cool.
And you know there's other people inside of him. Let's get real. Everybody is a universe, and he's a fucking god who's murdering everyone inside of himself. He is who Gore the Destroyer would be killing.
I heard this.
That's why it's so fucking absurd to see him prancing around on stage just because he thinks he's making fun of Marvel.
Right?
Or something.
It's just negative. You have to realize every time you say something, like, because he even said it himself, and he's reached no epiphany.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing going on. Like, he just says, no, I'm negative, so it's negative, and maybe it's making fun of Marvel, but it's also just negative the context of anything he does, like death, tragedy on stage, like in those little jokes in the movies.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, like, I had to fucking deal with a chiropractor who's actually a fucking tree, man. Who's actually a fucking Mormon. Who's actually a fucking dead man. Because he thought he could, fucking force my neck to only grow one direction and admitted to it openly with stupid fucking comments the whole time. And he just said that, he had a limited number of heartbeats left in his chest because he has to be negative like everyone else and try to kill me while trying to pretend he's healing me. So anyways, that was a great situation. He just reminds me of Matt Damon a little. In no ways except that they're both thinking about their limited heartbeats left.
Because they crank down on themselves.
Yep.
Rumor, because I know you and the family moved out to LA for a few years, right? 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years.
You may be coming back to New York, is that?
Yeah, we're moving back. Yeah.
You are coming back to the city? I love it.
Yeah, we were supposed to actually move back last year, but with everything that happened, I didn't want to put my kids in a new Zoom school.
How many Zoom schools can we be in?
Really.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly
let's just,
right.
But we're East Coast people.
Like, there's this whole feeling like there's only two coasts.
Yeah.
East and west. There's only two cities, left and right. There's
Yeah.
only two brain states, murder and crybaby.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you have to understand with people like this, their fake calm is them declaring while throwing a tantrum in their own brain and then say that they're more important than everyone because they're standing there or sitting there completely normal while throwing a tantrum and saying everyone else should appreciate how epic their tantrum is in their brains. But they're also adults, They're fucking epic, warlord generals because they're so stoic as they're throwing a baby tantrum in their fucking little brains.
And why Matt Damon's the worst is because it's always going on, even though he just walked onto a show, even though he's just said a word,
Yeah.
even though he's just running.
No, he can actually jump from one tantrum to another, like have his demon baby self in his brain with a spotlight on a stage, then just have words coming in like they're just thoughts, like single words, any word, and he's just negative. Candy. Oh man, I didn't get enough candy in 3rd grade. Ponies. Man, girls like ponies. Why don't boys get to like ponies as much as girls? I don't like girls because girls are better than boys, they think. Just everything's negative 100% to the point where he's pounding his little fists on the floor. Zoom? Okay, so of course everybody uses Zoom for pedophilia. So they were trying to make up for the fact that they didn't get to torture their children in concentration camps at schools, sitting at desks doing nothing while so instead they try to make up for it by using, like the energy I did as a kid because I'm superior to everyone else to just hide in my room from my fake mother and just masturbate all day and kiss my Pocahontas sheet and make sweet passionate love in my mind to women someday. Then, she comes a pound knocking on the door extra loud like she still tries to now. Hey, I run your life still. Hey. as she's looped from then to now, as she proves it with strange comments, because I have a perfect eidetic memory, and she says things now to then as though she's looping around and she's the same day. You know, Matt Damon does it too.
He says, "Oh man, basketball game 1998."
You hear him. He does that.
He does it a lot, actually.
All
He
the
mentions
time.
That basketball game as if it's like
Yeah.
the key defining moment.
And then he'll raise his finger like it's a revelation and look around with slightly widened eyes at people and say, "That was fun. I'm allowing fun back then." And then other people were supposed to put up their fingers and go, "Yeah," shoot them, and like act like they're like Old West gangsta shooting each other sideways with their finger guns while they go, "Pow, pow, we're so cool. We're both gods who own that entertainment from the past because we were alive then." And I've seen it over and over non-stop with these cocksmokers.
People, and you know, there's no place like home, so
There's no
we're
place
coming
like
back.
home. Absolutely. Oh, good. Well, welcome back. I know you. I have 2 daughters. You have 4 daughters.
Yeah.
What we have? I mean, it's the cutest thing in the world. My kids are. Winnie just turned 8 today.
Oh yeah, I didn't finish my story. What was that though? You can talk first.
I was just going to say, Matt Damon, not that they don't have children, but frequently actors like that are this bad will just make up a random number of kids that they have to seem more legitimate.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. And then they'll just say, "Nah, I'll just get somebody else's kids for 3 seconds to post
They
for
do that. I've
images
seen it.
for me on the internet." And then I have 2 legit kids. Like, it's part of the process of lying about everything, and which is also negative. Just why?
But what I was going to get back to was Kirsten is everybody's fake white blood cells trying to kill me off in them. So that's what I have to deal with. I'm literally living with a, like, witch from a German horror story. So, what she does is, fuck, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, she just now gets to put out the energy that she knows every time I'm masturbating. She knows she can feel sexual energy, you know, from across the universe. Because she's an infection that does so. So then she just harassed me back then. Then she says, "Oh, man, Ammon, you know, he's making children healthier these days, you know. They're starting to, you know, have head hair when they're born. They're starting to look better." So now she'll die as an old woman into everyone else and become part of their cancer. And then they'll all be as bad as fake parents as she was to me, you see. And then they'll make sure to starve and torture their children because I'm winning and children are happy and getting entertainment and real nutrition. So she's got to start clamping down. And so what it comes down to is these Zoom calls where because they can't possibly be as fucking aggressive as she is physically at their children because they just don't have the stamina. So what they do is they set up trannies because that's what, of course, most kids are into when they're young, boys especially. I was into that. It's a Native American thing. Boys or girls, all the girls you notice, they're all now thinking they're boys because they do it through one narrow channel of stupidity. From, you know, about 2018 onwards, they just made it up. They were all doing Zoom calls, supposedly. There were no teachers. Yeah, I know. Okay. Sure. Okay. Let's see here. So, another interruption. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Teaching is bullshit.
There is no teaching. No one's learning a goddamn fucking thing. They never learned anything at public school. They would just pass notes and the teachers would pretend they didn't see it and do nothing all fucking day unless they were harassing a Native American child in that classroom. Then everybody gets, you know, free kudos points to pretend they're fucking studying what 12 times 12 is as if anyone gives a fucking fuck.
I just like to point out that me, and I know nobody will ever care because they're just so obsessed with saying, yeah, but, I'm the one who made the concept of having video like pre-records where I actually made, because I was practicing writing and actually reading and making things.
Yeah.
I would make video reviews of some of the Wii games that I played.
Yeah.
Now, that became something that actually allegedly exists in public school 2012 onward while they hid it.
Yeah.
And it's all over TikTok and shitty things like that. And then
yeah, they're just copying you.
Started appearing on the internet, even though once again they're copying a young child who's 11 or 12. And after that, I got older and didn't do that shit anymore because I didn't need to learn the basics.
Yeah.
I mean, fun.
My supposed great-great-great-grandfather, he acts like as though he only learned to write 5 to 10 word sentences and then immediately put a period with no commas and then start another sentence. That's how basic his brain is. But he can talk and talk that way. Oh boy, he can talk the cows home. Who gives a fuck? He's not saying anything. Just rhetoric that's already been said. So yeah, what they're doing is me and Grant really would have liked to just have sex the whole time we were growing up so that we could flow. And we're better than you, so we could have sex all day and you can't. So, no, none of that was provided, even though, you know, I had a fairy godmother who fucked me regularly because I'm better than you. It was still, you know, I'd have to wait, you know, sometimes days or weeks to get a good fuck session in, separate from being part of the, cult experience, you know, every fucking millisecond at home. So anyways, let's see here. What everyone else has done is they've taken what we never got as children in the 90s or early 2000s, and they've said, no, their children get to have it, but they're applying guilt to their children, like Kirsten would to me, because their children shouldn't be getting to feel sexual and be chatting with all those hot people because the parents want to fuck those people. And their kids are just a liability getting in the way as they think all these thoughts and get free orgasm kudos that rot them aggressively instantly because Jesus set it all up this way, like the cocksmoker he is. Then, the children get what they want because they get to fucking sex chat all day. But they don't get to actually have sex, so they also rot away and die. Then all the sex workers rot away and die. And this is all through Zoom directly. Everybody was making open comments about it.
Zoom,
daddy, Zoom. Non-stop.
Never even used Zoom more than like once or twice just to see what it was.
Yeah. So, yeah. Then there was just Zoom patrol cars going around in town because I honestly fucking think we're so deep in everyone's psyches where I have to exist here at everyone as they push back. It's like bacteria is invented, it evolves into human form, into cars supposedly driving past me, with concepts of all the piggy concepts going on in people's heads generally. So there's just Zoom daddies going around who are 500-pound, you know, pork wads, male or female, and they're just thinking real hard and coming from their Zoom headquarters, you know, near the fun center of the valley, about how all kids' butts belong to them, and they're watching every child interact with every sex worker, and everyone gets the honor of watching any child be naked with any sex worker 24/7 live stream for fucking 8 years now. I've never seen that. In fact, just today, finally, there's videos because the bacteria gets so many layers down that's fake human that it starts, you know, running scams. So now they usually have people to cover those dumber bacteria and remove the scams that reveal too much about the life I don't get to lead. There's another knock on the door I'm ignoring. You see how it's non-stop, non-fucking stop? What the fuck? She actually psionically attacked me. What was I saying? Zoomers, let's see. Oh, yeah. They start naming videos and they leak through to me. It's called, the whole time I already knew this because they declared what they were going to do first in 2014. They said anybody who's an influencer, meaning that even though they're poor, even though they're young. They just have made some videos. Everyone's seen them on the internet, but have never, ever, ever, ever been paid even once. And so they just now, in the porn videos, it just says, quick, this hot Latina who looks just like the woman you almost got to fuck last year named Paula, this video will be deleted. Fap to it quick. This is literally the title. Otherwise, it'll be influencer banned. Quick. And then the next video with the same hot Latina who looks exactly like the woman I wanted to date then says, after you're done fapping to this, delete it so influencers can't see it. That's why I'm ranting today. Because the energy of everyone's finally so cancerously dead that now I get to be negative in your assholes and you get to fucking burn while I fucking rant. Fuck you.
A pedophile came to our fucking house and proved that everybody spies on everybody.
A pedophile on audio, possibly I had a video too, faking like he was a cop in an ancient 1980s Crown Victoria that was all battered and dinged. He was wearing a random fucking body armor that wasn't associated with anyone. He showed up and he said over and over again, he needed my underage sister's nudes. She turned 18 recently, so he needs to show up and justify that he can still attack her by saying in his head that there's nudes, it's the past, he needs to get them from me. So you can imagine how many times I fucking strangled him and caved in his fucking skull over and over and over. He arrived with the back of his skull blown out. Then he was just all like, no, we all, are perverts together here. Now, I need those pictures. You have those pictures? I know you have those pictures. I need those pictures. I need those pictures. I need those pictures. I need those pictures. She posted pictures. Then he gets into it. Yeah, there were forum posts back in the day. She posted pictures.
I told her not to do.
Then I say, oh, holy fuck, thanks for telling me. Now I get to beat you to death as the single man baby who's most responsible for fucking with her. Over and over and over and over all day long as everybody takes the blows, feels them in their assholes, then says, no, I'm still alive for cancer, man.
Yeah.
That's what Matt Damon
I have a
is.
fucking photo of his fucking plate. So if he's still alive as a ghost wandering around, beat his fucking ass.
Yeah. That's what's so stupid about it. Everybody acts like they have confidence because it's a big fucking ghost sodium system. But they feel my fucking blows. They feel my wrath. They feel the fucking pain. I don't care how many fucking cities I have to smash. You feel it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so birthday. Yeah. How?
So I'm 10, 12, 15, and then we've got one who just turned 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
And can you tell the difference, the 15 and?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not the difference between two, but I mean in age.
No, I don't really know the difference between my kids. I just kind of...
I think I know you, right? You're one of mine.
Yeah, you see, he's pointing out that we just talked and said that Matt Damon doesn't have 4 kids, so now he's jibing at him because he was listening to what I was saying. Matt Damon, you only have 1 kid, you don't even know which kids are yours, point them out to me, victory, I'm a demon baby bigger than Matt Damon, I'm Wario, he wants to play Wario, he admitted it, he's an asshole.
Instead, Elon Musk got to play Wario in the world's shittiest, most piggy, worst thing I've ever seen.
He did?
Yeah. I don't bring it up because it's so fucking piggy, but he played Wario in some terrible fucking courtroom drama or something.
Oh, who cares? Fuck him. Alright. Let's see here. Random person. Okay, let's see,
Let's go with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, sure. She's a pal. She's not the rudest motherfucker to ever exist.
Yeah, she's another person that'll tear into your asshole while other people cuck out. Like, we're just giving an example of how she'll tear into anybody's ass.
Yeah.
But, other people will just spread their butt cheeks and get slapped around.
And remember, she's negative, so she gets to be aggressive.
Is a multi-talented and multivitamin selling Oscar winner with a new show about those things called orgasms.
There's this thing in our culture with especially cisgendered heterosexual men.
You do realize that when they started using the first people cisgender, it sounds like the word, it sounds like cuck. It sounds wrong. Then they immediately were applying that energy to the environment of the word. So she's just saying, no, all men are cucks. She decides when war happens. She's everything. She just stated it with one word.
Right? There you go.
And of this is how you're supposed to be when you're orgasming. It's easy. It's like, okay, slot A goes into slot B and explodes.
Oh, Jesus. Who the hell is
Who's that? Okay, who? What?
Nothing to do.
How you doing?
She actually took over the opening video interview part and replaced it with her face? I assumed it was Gwyneth Paltrow talking. Sorry.
Oh, you look great. I like
But
that
I already
dress. Is that a
repeated to
dress?
everybody. I pour sexual energy into all sources. So anybody who's been having any alleged fantasies in relation to Mario or any of this shit,
Yeah.
it's almost always me, and that's why I made these videos, because I'm pointing out that they're trying to run off of my sexual energy as long as possible, and I'm the one into giant magical growth dicks. I'm
Yeah.
into giant dicks on people who look effeminate. I'm that person. I'm the actual bisexual guy that they're all ripping off, in case anybody wants to know.
Yeah, I know. It's true. No one's bisexual because nobody's Native American because they're all a bunch of fucking invading scumbags.
Dress or is that a skirt?
It's a dress.
I like the thing.
I mean, I said that, so I might as well iterate. Everything's a fucking magical continent. Fucking grow up. Everything's long been blown up in the universe. So when you're invading fucking America as a fucking little skinny whitey fuckface with the jumbo bacteria that'll get in the poop supply in our fucking nation and then hurt us real bad. I know you're fucking thinking that, you fucking little turds. So anyways, that's the type of behavior I'm talking about. You come across with your degenerative wasting diseases and act like you're striking a blow because only the weak people arrive now because you lost your fucking war against us. You lost. And now you're trying to poison us.
That's what the fucking British people did. And everybody feels like they're the British people. When they go to pretend they're from a random country on the internet when they're, talking, it's always England. If they don't want to admit where they're from, it's always England.
Because you see, it comes from the point of view that England, I've brought this up many times, once stole sex slaves. So then they say, as bacteria humans, they've done away with sex and they don't need that anymore. And Jesus promised them that sex would never happen and they're babies and they're scared of sex. So they just need to shift. I'm sorry, my shoulder popped. I forgot my line of thought.
Shift the sexuality to the overseas part of their brain's
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. Then, with Jesus' help, only send across their own cells out of their zombie corpses, repeated still zombie alive, they're supposedly human shaped, to show up all lumpy and chromosoidal in the US, then hopefully somehow fester in the poop of our economy, and then somehow grow in size as there's zombies here that are fake humans that are so removed so many times that they can finally be animalistic murderers that attack everyone again. While everybody is also just invaders. So then they all die because they're busy already dying of their cancer and say, oh man, I'm gonna die today. I've gotta find a putrid piggy gut bacteria fake human to die to. So then they feel strong and epic and then will attack real humans so that the invasion of America never stops perpetually. That's what they're doing.
Stop being weak.
Yeah, she just wore this skirt dress. You see, as she sat down, she was just thinking she gets to control the interview because she's wearing something ostentatious. Then whatever he says, she'll just say the opposite and nitpick instantly. Then she'll run the interview and she'll have a section in her brain that's rotting and burning and spinning and unspinning and doing everything at once that she can focus on and self-torture herself in that spot like she's a Costco eater, and then fucking expel all that negativity at Jimmy Kimmel and then win it live.
Yeah, it's called the evil version of psionics.
Yeah, so I'm killing her, always.
Things you pick. That's why, I started subscribing to Goop like right at the beginning. And everyone would make fun of me because I've been...
You hear how his voice is quavering in and out, right down in his lower chest bones. She's attacked him with literally so much energy initially that he's now, it's not fear or nervousness. He's literally just, his heart now has to regulate out.
Palpitating.
It's palpitating his heart. He has to regulate it out and talk and gasp and force everything back into alignment as she just tried to kill him, tried to stab him in the heart and drag it around to a position that would end his life. And she's proud of it. And she's now gleeful and thinking about how she's going to torture him the whole interview and keep hurting his heart. Because he mentioned her dress, and women are more beautiful than men, and she wins because they don't need bigger muscles. Always thinking about it nonstop, how her muscles aren't as big as men's, and if only she could eat more pork and it would work instead of burning in her, she'd do it. She'd swell up to 8 feet tall and beat on Ammon himself. She'd do it. She's thinking about it. She can take down Jimmy Kimmel. He's a little weak version of a man that's already been subdued. And then that's just cutting her teeth on breakfast. And she can move on to the next target. Wouldn't be surprised if she fucking died in Rocket League. After all, the supposed company that made it that never existed is called Psionics. So every fucking stupid whore-ass woman dies to me in Rocket League. I don't even know why.
Because they suck dick at video games and they suck dick at driving.
They just say, but Ammon will play Rocket League again for some reason. And then I'm just saying on my end, another stupid whore actress will connect to me, to my Rocket League game if I play again for some reason, for no reason. So I just keep being encouraged to connect because they keep giving me negativity where their brains are all twisted with that uranium deposit. Then I get to come in with my superior dick, superior intellect, superior fucking station in existence and just like knead their little fucking pizza dough skull into any shape I want and then just turn on the fucking afterburners and just start, jettisoning all of their fucking nitrates, just burning right into her fucking scalp so her hair falls out.
Yeah.
Like, on Goop it said, and now I feel like the whole world has followed me.
You see, this is what Jesus was saying. He twisted everyone around into the left side of their bodies with their hearts so that then, as a stupid, dumb fucking vine tree thing, he could supposedly be everyone's nerves fakely through their rotting bone structure. So I just showed up to have both sides of my body spun as though I'm double Jesus tree mirrored with a heart on my right side of my body that just beats and palpitates when people attack me with their fucking little stupid fucking Gwyneth Paltrow brains. All that happens is my one heart palpitates a whole bunch, and then they're all like, oh man, I'm so epic. Oh, it's really working. It's working so good. I'm starting to get a feedback. Now my heart's starting to quiver. Oh, I'm so powerful. Oh, I'm killing him. And then they start feeling sex. They start orgasming, and then they start feeling a burning in their clitoris or penis, and then it builds, and then they start feeling this twanging all from their shoulders and fucking lower teeth all the way down to their toes, all the way through this X-frame point on their twisted fucking little shitty solar plexus V point that's all grown and twisted because they're so fucking shitty at growing. And then it pops! It pops! And blood oozes down slowly through that twist point down into their guts, filling up all the way around each intestine with infinite, dark, brackish, slow-moving blood from the side chamber of their heart that just dead ends into nowhere. Then they survive for several days or weeks, slowly with their skin turning blue underneath and clear chalky above, slowly shivering to death and then burning into feverish heat over and over again as they claim it's coronavirus, and they need to eat a bunch of fucking fireweed honey, and they need to regulate their deaths and get even with anybody who would dare release such products to the market that would kill the poor, beautiful cultist assemblies every Sunday.
How many meat nitrates? Even early on in life, even with Gwyneth Paltrow.
No. I know exactly what she did because I had to deal with fucking Christiana growing up around me. Oh, yeah, I fucking hate animals, they always say, for the first 15, 20 years of their life. It depends upon when they're born, right? So Christiana was born later on, so then she didn't have much time, so she really had to say she'd stab all animals in the eye socket young, and then switch to saying that she was then a vegan, and so put upon, and how everybody else is a criminal for not treating animals nicer, while she's twisted all this feelings extra deep inside around in her heart chamber that she wants to still stab animals in the eye socket. I'm not fucking stupid. Gwyneth Paltrow is an animal torturer. It's her specialty. That's why she's wearing fucking peacock shitty plumage. Like, she just wants to kill all the peacocks and take their color.
How long ago did you start the newsletter?
I started in 2008.
2008, and now it has blossomed to become a company, a website.
Yeah, she's part of the entrepreneur women who already have billions of dollars, and they only get to start soap companies, they only get to start blogs, and then they carefully weed out all other women who actually live their lives day to day, to delete all other blogs. Starting in 2008, Gwyneth Paltrow coming in, the blogs start trying to get scantier then. Everybody retaliates still because there's still some people alive. And they fucking beat her back into her cage, all the women like her, and say that anyone can have a fucking, a blog for a few more years. But then she's just gonna outlive everyone. She's got special, kudos connections to Jesus, so she can rot deep in her heart chambers and imagine murdering animals and keep up that negativity and keep concentrating that uranium and keep stabbing everyone with it.
Because that's what religion breeds. They think that they have a word called Jesus, even though that's just the word Savior. And that there's just Savior. Wham.
I'm hurting everyone. Save me now. Oh, there was some guy, he died on a cross. There was some guy, he burned alive. There was some guy, he hid in a cave. They did these things so that I don't have to have consequences. That's every last fucking person. And the more they claim that they don't like Jesus or don't believe that he exists, the more they believe in him. Every feminist. I had to meet the motherfucker.
A brand, a place where you can buy ivermectin. Yes? No, you can't.
That you cannot do.
A religion to some.
You see? He got so injured by her, of course he's going to immediately take what I just said. Interviews instantly change. How bad does that hurt on everyone's brains? Now, you think you're so fucking special. Yeah, you don't get to fucking sell anything, you dumb whore. You think you're so fucking religious even though you never go to church? I fucking know you, because Ammon said he knows you, so now I know you. Now he's on the upper hand, and he can stab back into her as she withers into her seat. All the epic display. Do people feel epic now?
Because I'm going to tell you right now, like Andrew Garfield already covered with his stupid movie, whatever the fuck it was called. It got sidelined by the woman he hired for it because she declared she was part of the horde who gets to bully people, literally. What is it called again? 2006 movie where he basically says, I get to fucking rule the world because my hair is better than anyone else's.
Yeah, because that's the type of shit we're talking about. These retards act like they care about their hair, but they don't. The second that they start losing it, they don't. They say, "Oh man, I'll get implants." I won't just show what my hair looks like and say my hair is my hair. No.
Yeah. So I get encouragement from Andrew Garfield and some of the other people who were attached to colleges versus other people who are attached to universities.
Basically.
And it just seems like back to 2006, there's all this activity going from then all the way to now, including, of course, Morpheus and all that stuff. Morbius, I mean.
Morpheus Orifice, Morbius Forius.
Yeah.
Euphorius Morbius going down the street walking like penguins.
So yeah, as I've ranted here, it's like I'm sweating out negative toxin hormones out of my armpits.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say that this shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be that I have to shit on somebody's desk like I was ranting about that Andrew Garfield heard for me to fucking have to defend myself. You know what I mean? You don't have to say, oh, you bullied that person while that person bullied you and other people bullied them and this person's bullying them. I don't fucking bully people. They always come at me and then I clap back on their ass cheeks. They're always coming at me.
Yeah.
Every fucking time with some part of their sentence while acting like they're innocent.
Which is why back in the day, I would literally have conversations back in 2010 when everybody was so fucking smart it was alive. So what would happen is they discuss any topic suddenly. So I would always point out quickly, immediately, as they finish their sentence, and I go to respond with how they were negative in the sentence, how they're a fucking piece of shit, and then also ignoring it and going back to explaining my side of the view on whatever we're discussing, as they have to continuously at that point in time reference that I'm calling them a piece of shit, go grr deep inside their heart valves, then not feel it and let it influence their brains because it's the wrong year for it. Then eventually each and every one of them I would just rant and rave at them for a fucking half hour, every fucking person in 2010, till each and every one would say, "Stop, you're talking too fast, you're just too smart. Stop competing with me."
Yeah, by the way, everybody thinks that everybody else is competing with them, which is the major problem. Nobody's competing with anybody. They're just at each other's throats. They're using it as an excuse, like here. They're competing. They're always competing. What's competition? There is no competition. They're at each other's throats. They're at each other's throats. Always.
Yeah.
Right there, they're at each other's throats.
Yep.
They're like, Gwyneth Paltrow is like a puma, and she's like, that's like starting to like, look sickly with like sodium hair. Yeah. And then he's like a really obese, like fucking like anorexic, like water buffalo. And he's like, and she's like, and he's like, and she's like, and he's like, and she's like, and then he's all like, and then she's all like, upper hand. You think I haven't heard this? Hey, every time my cat, I have an annoying cat called Friska that's not ideal. Every time any other cat comes around her, even my orange cat, she whines like that for an infinite amount of time, and when they try to communicate with her and they say something, in cat, like meow, then she goes more, and then she curls up in a ball in the corner and makes more whiny noises at my cat while going, and that's what happens to everyone who has house cats. It's the other connection. They're just using their house cats because they're small and stupid and not big enough bacteria, because I believe all animals are bacteria that are positive, and just saying, no, they're too stupid to fucking know better than to not do this. Everyone has a house cat, and they're just using its fluff, its pollen, and just saying,
yeah, it's pretty obvious. Gotta have that feeling of superiority over birds that she's using from cats. Just a second.
We're gonna shut the water off for a little while.
Yeah.
So
I filled up my bathtub, so I have water there.
Well,
calling you. Will you answer to?
You're not messing with the sewer system. No.
When I'm calling you.
I'm confused. What do you want me to do then?
Somewhere over the rainbow bridge, way up high, where the castles and rainbows do fly. Bumblebees in the trees swing with the bees in the trees and the leaves. Fleas to the trees, because the fleas in the trees should not be there, because the bees are angry at the fleas. And then I do more filler for an infinite amount of time, because he's just talking to try to be heard. So then I keep singing and keep talking forevermore, 'cause your wife's a whore. Anyway, yeah. My major issue with Gwyneth Paltrow is that she acts like she's so fancy, but then she allows her daughter, because it's like she made a book and I read said book. Oh yeah, her daughter, even though ordinarily everybody's overly controlling, you know how we're talking about in every way, shape, and form of their children's lives. Well, you know, she's a teenager now, so she gets to eat all the garbage she wants before they get at a plane in an airport. Because what will she do? She'll make a scene? I mean, yeah, people always make scenes, right? And she'll tell her that she can't, date random boys or do this or that or be past a certain time space or all this crazy shit. But she gets to eat, the most garbage, shitty dyes that are, contaminated and, dredged from, lake water, through, random fucking colored algae. But she'll, say that it's fine that that she do that, even though she has to sit on a plane with her and smell what her breath smells like after eating that garbage, pisswaro shit water. Whatever it is, like Powerade, it's basically just piss juice in a bottle. No, you know what I mean? You can't have that double standard. That's fucking nuts. I'm just saying, what I'm trying to promote is a healthy lifestyle and a healthy behavior. And it's just not healthy to say that you're at least not very upset and angry and betrayed feeling that somebody would go after such low quality food when you're trying so hard in life. That's what I'm upset by with Gwyneth. She just, in my opinion, just acts like as if she's giving up on being a parent the second that they're, into their teenage years. And it's like I would say that is, common, but even saying that that's common is saying that it's somehow acceptable. So I'm going to say that it's uncommon because at some point in human history it was uncommon to just say that people were just okay for eating pure fucking garbage and not exercising and just, I mean, it's like they're your fucking person. They came out of your womb. They're you should know them. You should know how to, convince them not to do things. And if not, I mean, I don't even understand, what demon spawn were you having sex with that made such terrible children? That's what I always ask people. And I always have to come back to the fact that nobody ever wants to be honest and tell a full story on anything. So there's something they could do, and there's some few reasons at least, even if it'll never change, as to why somebody's so aggressively, unhealthy or something. And even if it's not a way that you can help them, at least, you can say why they're so fucking nuts. They just like the smell of foods that taste like shit. They always like to smell their own poop when they were doing the porta potty. I'm literally saying, you can't have this dichotomy where people act as if, oh man, you're great, like Jimmy Kimmel's doing here. Well, simultaneously you stab each other, but you don't say the words, you're just a stupid bitch who tries to control other people's blogs and make soap. Because that's, rude? Well, I don't understand. They're being rude in every way, shape, and form. You saw how Jennifer Lawrence was being rude when she cut off Jack Nicholson. She was like, you're being rude when they're actors, she's at a party, he was there, he was invited, or at least ostensibly brought through somebody else who had a +1. It's all legitimate, it's all completely reasonable, but because he brings up that, you know, you're not supposed to be so flippant while there's people suffering, and that, you know, that's not okay, then she just says, oh man, you're being so rude, while at the same time trying to pretend that she's like shocked and amazed that he exists and overblown by his celebrity, while she ignores him simultaneously. Like, you can see the two brain channels running as she sort of like tries to slide him off to the side of his brain and hopes he'll like slide off behind her and disappear out of her vision, like she's got tunnel vision. And then he keeps talking behind her, and she doesn't fully want to turn around because, like, you know, he wanted to say some more things. And it proves that she 0% wants to commit to even acknowledging him, even though she has to, which, I mean, you can't get more rude for people that are entertainers while you're on video. Think about this from an entertainer's perspective, even Gwyneth Paltrow's. You're sitting there, there's some long-term actor who's been in a bunch of spooky, creepy movies and interesting things, and he's like, just walked up behind you and showed up. If all you cared about was attention, if all you cared about was building your brand, then you'd say, oh, absolutely, you know, hey, Jackie, what's going on? What are you doing? What's Jackie Gleason in about this? But instead, she's living in a fake moment in an after awards ceremony party when none of it matters, still acting like each and every frame of video matters, each and every still image, every bit of audio, like she needs to be economizing it, even though they always cut that after party shit around. Most people who ask people stuff anyways only take what they want, which is why everything's so incredibly pointless and stupid anyways, because you're going to get out of it what the person who has the idea for what they're going to ask you wants out of it. You know, they're going to cut around if they want to, if they're not a fan, which is far too often, like you're seeing here with this conflict, like to just where you talk about, like, say, your pet that they want to hear about because they saw videos online of it jumping for a frisbee or something. And so it becomes this automatic, and that's why I hate this negativity, filtering program where nobody cares about the positive aspects of somebody. In their opinion, they're so negative. So then you get like 3 seconds of positivity, then falsehoods of supposedly not, you know, bickering while they're bickering, as they both squeeze their eyes around their face, you know, for example, here, Kimmel and Paltrow, and act like as if they're in rictuses of pain because they couldn't possibly just, you know, trust each other to actually just leave in what the other person wants left in. I mean, I'd even be more honest than Kimmel. I'd literally say that certain sections of the video are labeled as boring or personal life stories nobody cares about, for example, but leave them exactly the same. It would just have like a marker on the video saying that this part is not that interesting for many people. But you see everybody else, they say, how dare you not entertain me as the entertainer coming on my interview show, even though it's an interview, which should be all about being such a fan that you're going to get something out of the person showing up there in relation to knowing more things about, you know, their movie process. Actually, you know, that's why it's so boring to do interviews over and over again. I can't believe they ever did rampant interviews every year when they're not like people who are developing a new skill every 3 seconds. They're, you know, dehydrated. They probably, but her skincare products, like a lot of women have like sulfur in them, even though they act like that's fine. It's not okay. You shouldn't be putting sulfur in things. Sulfur is like what happens when you turn low quality urine in your body into like a gas powder so that you can get rid of it. And she looks sulfury.
Yeah, she does.
So many women look like that in the skincare products.
Yeah, like
Zowie wowie. That's not much left. Just some ghost and a little bit of product.
Sulfur and brimstone.
Yeah. But what's crazy about this is she's not going to maybe react to what I'm saying. She isn't going to change because she's an extra dead stick in the mud. But he's apparently going to update to what I'm saying moment to moment. Somehow. Which is bizarre. I don't understand that. It makes me suspect that people like the interviewers, they're just like floating point bacteria infections on all humans. So then they just update and just supposedly reset the data in the video of all people's memories or something. Because it makes no sense.
A few people. I've been talking to some people, and yeah, I think you could start a cult if you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah.
See, hardcore blows. Like,
Yeah.
you could start a cult if you wanted to.
To talk about this, and we need to talk about that. So.
Oh, really?
I thank the couples for coming forward and like putting themselves on the line like that.
Yeah. It really is interesting to watch people. You have an older couple, and it's funny because, people think like, oh, well, they're old people. They're not, we like to imagine that our parents aren't doing stuff, but they probably
They're
are.
Randy.
Yeah.
Probably
And they're rolling
are doing
around.
stuff. That's not a vote of confidence.
Yeah, he isn't even being anti-sex. He's just saying old people are dead. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to maintain some chest flow, some muscle
Yeah.
mass, or else you're just
But
dead.
see, it's like he had to accept that he had to flow evenly somewhat, and that's why he has a silly shaped body. Because, like, in a certain way, like, male, female flow thoughts, positive, negative, hot, cold, all the things are happening a little more in his body, even though he's a piece of shit. So then he can't say everything's twisting into a negative, gonna kill someone thought in his head. He gets to think still, somehow.
Even though he's more mean-spirited
Yeah.
than the other guy, but yet he still has, like, we're just looking at positivity peaks. He has more positivity peaks than his
Yeah.
physical frequency of existing.
Exactly.
Down on the ground, and then they're looking at him, and they're just like kind of humping each other on the show. And isn't that wonderful?
You make it sound so
I
appealing.
know, I ruined
Jimmy,
everything.
Really.
I know.
It's like.
What's this thing? This is a scratcher or something?
Well, it can be used a couple ways. So this is in the show. Jaya, the expert that you saw in the clip, she is talking about all the different kinds of touch, and she talks about different sexual blueprints that certain people are turned on by different things. And there's like a kinky one, I think, that this goes with, and she puts this Wolverine claw down.
So now suddenly she's admitting there's some other woman. She's not at all connected. She's admitting she came on here and did no fucking research about her fake industry.
Yeah.
The other woman says, I vaguely watched a video that was 2 minutes long of all the stuff at once. I don't know. Wolverine sensuality. Daniel Radcliffe's going to be Wolverine. Also Hugh Jackman Faker is going to be Wolverine again. Wolverine's everywhere. It's on her mind. Here it is popping up. Wow.
My point is this. That's why I was saying you don't make up stupid shit just so you can go to stupid shit interviews with stupid shit.
Yeah, faking like you're industrious so that you can screw over other people, at least conceptually.
And I keep repeating this. Maybe if everybody came into it like, I got nothing to do, hey man, what's going on? Like a few people do.
Yeah.
Like Steve-O. I know. It takes all the way to the point where you're basically get hit in the nuts and face for a living like a stuntman completely. Then you'll just say, hey man, I'm boring, what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's the only way that we can fix things, because then there's nothing pre-planned and they don't feel they need to because they're both boring but they're lying about it.
Yeah.
And that's part of being evil.
Okay, let's check out the Peaky Blinders here. Let's see what made them peak. Hills and valleys, here we go.
I feel like any situation where there's somebody just kind of sitting there telling you and your husband or wife to do something is going to be sexually exciting just in the first place, right? Because you're not used to having a coach.
So he's just trying to torture her beyond all belief because he can blandly talk about it without affecting him very much.
Well, so can I.
Yeah.
That's why I direct movies. I direct pornos.
Yeah, I love it.
I think you've been married for a long time.
Yeah, right? There's the response
Well,
she has. She always feels like she's dating. And everybody, even him, because he has to, literally, it's just how much hormones that aren't rotted in the body. He has slightly more unrotted hormones that he can think with and exist with. So then he just says, yeah, but at the end of the day, sex is a manual task, and it's like, you know, when you swing a pickaxe and your lower back hurts, you're trying to swing your penis around and your lower back hurts. It's the same end result. It's just you're getting slightly more out of it than when you're swinging a pickaxe. You know, the reality.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh man, you're one of those people that like has to be in the reality of what sex is, where you constantly need to fetishize something actually interesting.
Yeah, something that you can grasp, you can see and smell, you know?
That's tenable, not some sort of idiotic idea in your head that you're a creepy weirdo.
Yeah. You don't need to build up little spin points in your body about how you have your own little fetishes. You have to connect to someone and fuck them. Who cares if you both throw up the first time? What the fuck? It's just trying to get sensation. What?
Yeah, right? It's only bad if you throw up in each other's face and eyes. Then it's
yeah, then it's terrible. Yeah, then it's a nightmare. Just like, yeah, I mean, I guess there's some women, I guess when they're pregnant, I've heard, they like suddenly projectile vomit, so that's fine.
That's why I'm like, if I was gonna, I'm not adverse to banging pregnant women, but
yeah,
if they were going to be having sex with me, I'd be like, face the other way if you're gonna feel at all vomitous. You're not throwing up on my face or chest. Absolutely not.
Yeah, but like,
that goes double for people with haven't had sex in a long time that feel queasy when they're going into sex and have toxic hormones.
Yeah, I'm kind of into the thing where like it's the reverse of pedophilia, where like the woman's so pregnant that she like gets huge and like turns into like a giant baby, but like an adult version temporarily. Then like, you know, further transformations happen, but I'm just saying, you know, that's the only time when people can look like adult babies, really, and be at all anything, I guess.
Well, I mean, it hormonally makes sense.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, it's like as if I feel bad for saying, like, you know, because of all the bodybuilders out here and shit that want all that estrogen because they're so debalanced, so they're so horny for pregnant women. And it's not like I'm trying to say no to anybody. I'm just saying I can't get turned on by that.
Yeah.
Unless my hormones shift. And I love having my hormones shift. For example, when I was way younger, when I was a kid, I used to be into pregnant women. I used to be into, you know, pregnant women all the time. But then I got older, and it's like every time my hormones shift, then I try to rebalance them by consuming hops and doing different things. But if they don't fix, or if they don't do some direction, and I can't feel anything that way, then I can't, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So if you're going to guilt trip yourself anyway, I would say any person in existence, including even any actor, you should be guilty you don't have more fetishes and that you're trying to exclusivize your brain. Always be guilty that you don't and can't develop more fetishes. Because there's no reason why a healthy sex life with many sexual concepts can't exist.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just be, oh yeah, man, I banged once, you know, after fishing some girl at a campsite, so now I can only get horny at a campsite like you're a horse being led into a stable where it's always going to have an erection because it's going to be, you know, milked for its reproductive semen right then, right there. That's creepy. That's ruining the concept of human sanity.
Yeah.
That's how people break themselves down.
All right, let's look up John Cena now. See, what usually pro wrestlers or something do is...
All right, just a second. I guess I can finish one sentence. Usually what pro wrestlers do, because they're used to being braggarts, is they're so pumped up, they're so incredibly used to it always being in front of an audience that wants to saw their own arms off. Like, you know, they're like, I don't know how they've managed to sanitize it at every wrestling event. I don't know why they'd want to, but apparently somehow they have. But back in the day, they'd all have saws and fake blood all over their necks and stuff, and they'd be acting like the various, you know, fake wrestlers need to rip each other's dicks off and, like, you know, like tear his head off and shove it up his ass and stupid things that make no sense they would just say. And so when you're constantly faced with people literally booing you because they're such man children and woman children, they believe that your event is actually real, and they believe that Clarissa Explains It All, who was just on stage, actually cheated on you with the other wrestler, and the other wrestler's getting shit thrown at him for no reason.
And it's hard because you want to continue your act, but you also have to deal with all this hostility, including like directly people's brains somehow being geared to believe whatever stupid drama because they want to. It's pre-preparing you to be slapped in the nuts for these type of interviews and to be more charismatic. I've never seen a almost any wrestler, even the dumb ones that you just hardly even care about, like, you know, whatever, any of the fake wrestlers, they always act like as if they're kind of putting out a field of, like, you know, charisma around them. And what I mean by that is, whether it's perceived or not, it's just them saying, you're not gonna hit me in the guts like that with that gut blow, because everything's still perceptional. So let's say you're psionically attacking somebody like John Cena. Well, John Cena's response to that is to stab back, but instead of with energy, with words, because they still have to listen supposedly. And then they have to cognitively process the words he's saying, and they realize he's insulting them and making fun of any sort of statement they're trying to jab at him about, you know, having, you know, small testicles or something. He comes into it already saying that himself, because, you know, that's what steroids do, I guess, to some extent at least. And kind of just be the energy that they're trying to imbibe, like as if he's already in what they're gonna say. He already knows. He's like, to cut you off, I'm already saying this, and I'm already coming in from the other side and being basically both parties, which is incredibly insane. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's the perfect strategy, but it's definitely something that it's effective when it comes to him being able to show up where he wanted to, when he planned to. You see what I mean? That's why this is effective, for what he wants. And then he says, no, you're not going to bully me around. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. And he's consistently always done that and showed up with a plan to do that and say he's going to do that. So it's like saying, now it's time for John Cena. John Cena's on stage. It doesn't make any sense why you would go to an interview where they're kind of half-heartedly not giving a shit about anything. And so whenever John Cena's on anything, everybody acts like they really want him there, because if they don't, he's not going to show up ever again. And if they don't act like they want him on there in the first place, he probably won't show up in the first place. I've been seeing the way, you know, he actually, like, is more of a hype person, because you have to be when you understand you're around a bunch of crowds of people. And, like, that an interview should be something where you just say, yeah, I'm so cool, I, you know, have some stuff that I wanted to show off. Not, hey, I'm a successful entrepreneur, let's treat this like it's a business, like Gwyneth Paltrow and soap making, or any of this other stuff. You're supposed to say, no, I am the entrepreneurship. What do you mean my career is me? You know what I mean? Not selling soap. Again, I have to keep saying this. What is with this basket weaving, selling soap, you know, fucking knitting tiger dicks together?
Because then you're a survivor who made it further years into the future past everyone else before inevitable cutoff date of your own heart twisting you to death. So you say, I'm the last people around currently, as time is stagnant and means nothing, and I made it to 2019 and I'm at a fucking farmer's market and I faked basket woven and I was a big person in the old world, and now these random people that are also here who are smug, arrogant assholes who are pretending they're various states of rich or poor, all having way more fucking friends and money than me, no matter what I try to do to get influence or jobs or anything out of them. It's always just, no, they're all milling around as an independent crowd of different aspects of society, only if there's a few hundred people left at a farmer's market, just all flaunting their fucking fake wealth, flaunting their position of giving me fucking nothing in life, somehow.
While coming to places like here in the middle of nowhere and trying to hoard things that don't belong to them because they traded over. But yeah, like I was just repeating, any interview, because he's had to deal with people sawing at their arms and fake blood all over the place and being vilified just for being the villain on a stage that day.
Yeah.
It gives you a completely different perspective, on top of having to break your spine every 3 seconds and pop all the bone dust out of them.
Yep.
And look at who we got in the house. Producer, WWE superstar, actor, what am I missing? Author is in there, John Cena. Good to have you in studio, man.
I'm flattered that you hit all those bases. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
What am I missing in that list of all those things you do now, right? Actor, producer, WWE star, what am I missing? Show host.
You know, so all of those things can come and go.
I hear you.
I think you're missing a guy who enjoys life and does his best he can to earn every day.
Do you find that
like
I guess I know the answer because
as if it's half
Right.
verbal and a tiny bit trying to push energy out.
Yeah.
So then he responds with, "Yeah, you're saying I'm all those things, and those things can come and go." Like he's thinking a thought, like how the second you just say "easy come, easy go, motherfucker," then the person says, "Oh man, now you're just proving that you'll beat the shit out of me if I actually start saying things that are directly hurtful."
Because the first energy feeling I got off of this guy, because everybody gets a first feeling, and it's through the movies they've watched and the races of people they're made out of. So this guy's a sly Cuban from movies from the 1800s where, it's always more suave every second, but that is the violence somewhere deep down. He's athletic, he's not violence because it's always suave coming at you with his forehead pressing back, the criminal forehead. I'm just joking, but it's funny that he's actually using like the angle, he keeps pushing on his forehead to make you can see the hair grow at a stupider angle back at the rest of his hair, like he's constantly walking while like a narrow beam of like wind with sand particles is constantly hitting his eyebrow ridge and cresting over it, like he's the test of like a car model for in the wind tunnel of like radiation of like being suaver and attacking people and taking terrible blows of humongous stars, slamming him with radiation.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, so it's not better. John Cena just rebuked him immediately.
Yeah. And he has so much excess energy from exercise that he can say, "Okay, you attacked me. Now I'm imagining how I would beat you to death in a physical scenario because you fooled me, because you used such ancient, primitive, strange flow aspects of your brain with the psionics so that it seemed like as though something was happening, new flow was happening in John Cena simply because the guy's attacking him so aggressively in such a strange way in his forehead that at first you perceive it as maybe even positivity."
Yeah. Like even because it's like you can feel it,
Yeah.
you can see it, you can taste it within the video because it's high enough definition.
Yeah.
It's like he's all like, "You're all these things,
And
but all those are temporary." Then John Cena says, "Easy come, easy go. They come as they please, don't they?"
Yeah, as it's like saying like plugging into he's from the big leagues, when there was massive strange technology going into people's skull plates hundreds of years ago as they lie about it, pretend there was a technological peak later, when in fact everybody died from that, of course. So this guy's from the thick of it. He's just oozing, black energy from, 150 years ago somehow. So then John Cena's so energized, of course. So that's why the guy looks like he's been assigned to interview superstars, then get blasted I said, into the forehead, back, like as though he's reaching like a demon ghost from the ancient past with supporting numbers and technology and populace and cults and all that shit, so that he's just meant to take blows and just remain an interviewer like from a movie from then and never break, as the whole society's their teeth shatter back then from the sugar they were already eating.
Yeah, and I keep repeating, he's asking him questions here, like as if he thinks that he's authoritative, even though that's not true.
Yeah.
Because he's crossing his legs. I just have to point that out.
Yeah. Right.
Whereas John Cena knows, like everybody knows, you gotta have testicle flow to have confidence. You gotta keep yourself pumped. You gotta keep yourself open and stretched.
Yeah, what's so absurd about it, right, is that John Cena's Wipeout show, it's so obvious, like, it's basically like he's just sitting there in hell as the announcer watching people run the course who are assholes. And it's so direct that, like, you know, this guy, you know, John Cena can just treat this guy like he might just be, you know, running on his, you know, stupid game show one of these days for being an asshole who thinks he can attack people with his mind.
Kind of said it. The thing you're so busy. You're such a huge star. But what is the thing now?
You see what he does?
Yeah, right?
You're so busy.
He's reacting because he's connecting, because I'm directly connecting to the past. He's saying, okay, everybody's acknowledging what I'm saying. John Cena's too big of a superstar. He's got too much genetic energy, power, muscling through. So then he's acknowledging everything I'm saying. They're both listening with their internal ears for my monologue before I unpause again, as they just get to be in the moment because time's nothing, apparently. But I love John Cena's, like, suits, like it's like early 1990s, like outer space, like grid graphics, you know, like where you lay in stuff into it. It looks great. It's hilarious.
I personally think that he looks like as if he's always going to explode out of his suit and it's going to tear off his body and he's just going to be sitting there in his underwear.
Well, I mean, it is pretty cool how he got it molded, you know, around even the front of his shins, so it makes him look bulgy, like he's got muscular shins. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes him look like his suit's going to rip off any second.
Yeah, but it looks like it's strategically maybe a little stretchy, you know, right here in the above the biceps, so, you know, it can kind of move around a little.
Yeah, whereas
so
this
he can
guy,
do
he's
stretch
all,
moves on him.
His suit's all pinned around, and then he's all twisted within it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That keeps you grounded. It sounds like you're kind of hitting on it.
Well, and this is, I appreciate everybody saying that. Every time, you know, you promote a movie, you do a bunch of press, everybody thinks you're enormously busy. Every one of us, in front of the camera.
Well, if you look at John Cena's hairline.
Behind the camera.
Okay, it only looks good in movement. Anyways, you can see that it's all coming out of a point here where he should have hair in a widow's peak, of course, but there's not enough health in his body to do it quite, for obvious reasons. So you can see that his hair is blasting from that spin point, where then, you know, the lines here, he's got two supporting ones there, one there, and it's all kind of spinning through and holding so that his skull doesn't revolve around and around and break off. It's, you know, holding shape some way, you know, with strategic, you know, latch points.
Yeah, but that's his body automatically doing that from the amount of exercise.
Well, yeah, your body automatically wants to be straight, you know, if you give it exercise, so.
And don't fucking Hulk grip. And
yeah.
Retarded shit.
Yeah, right. I doubt he actually shows his favorite exercises. A lot of these people don't. They're like, no, I don't want it to be jinxed.
That's how they act.
Yeah.
Promote a movie, you do a bunch of press, everybody thinks you're enormously busy. Every one of us, in front of the camera, behind the camera, every one of us leads a very busy life. Everyone is busy. It's just, I think, the reason I can try to be in a lot of places at once is I have passion for what I do.
Yeah, it gets you
I love
everywhere.
The conversation we're having right now. I love being able to promote a movie like Vacation Friends. It's really exciting to be a part of it because I got my heart and soul into it. I know this is part of that process. And I think when you love what you do, there's often the entrepreneurial quote of if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Yeah. I really do enjoy everything I'm doing right now, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities I have. I'm just literally trying to make the most of it.
And this movie, Vacation Friends, hilarious.
This is one that we had fun.
Now, you were talking all that about really enjoy what I do. You really got to enjoy
And those are,
Vacation Friends.
here we are, we're making a comedy where we have to be this over-the-top party couple. Yeah. So, like, you're encouraged to push boundaries and push limits to try to create this narrative in Vacation Friends. I think everyone can say that title, Vacation Friends, and kind of understand what they're going to get in the movie. So we take those words and then turn the volume up to max, and that's what you can enjoy on Hulu. It's really a fun ride, and you'll be able to see scenes that we can all kind of relate to, and I just get to play the guy that's over the top and really, really crazy and out there. So.
Okay, let's take a quick look at a clip here, give people an idea of what you're talking about. Let's look.
What are you two doing here?
Oh,
Well, you guys, we were so confused why you didn't call after Maggie. Come on.
so,
We're literally sitting by the phone for a week being like, what?
But it was my
kind of ridiculous. But the point is the same. You have to realize everybody shows up and acts like as if nothing really matters that they're doing. And so the fact that he even cared about the thing that he was doing, like he was even saying, he's like, that's what matters. Like, that's what I was waiting for him to say, somebody to say, so it's good that we line this up. Do you even care? Well, then why are you doing the interview? Like, you have to care.
Yeah.
You either care or you don't care. There's no, I sort of want to show up because I want people to go, yeah, and clap, and then to be bullied on in front of cameras. No.
Yeah. It's all pretty pointless.
You either want to do something or you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop with the false obligations.
Yep.
That's why I always repeat, rather than doing an interview, it would be better. And I'll always repeat this. And fuck you, pay me, because I'm sick of being everybody's fucking agent for them while they don't acknowledge that I exist.
Yeah.
So, why the fuck, on top of, because they already had fans like I recommended at the next Marvel event.
Yeah.
And they were the pre-screeners, and they're fans of comic books and movies, and they made sure that they were. So it got good review scores from them. So it doesn't matter if people cry baby on the internet about themselves not having seen the movie or not giving a shit about the movie or liking it. Because they have their audience there, the people who draw pictures and make cosplay and shit of everything, saying that it was a successful film. That's why I was saying no more of this, oh man, but let me search the internet or people's brains somewhere for the negativity, then say, see, I told you I should have gone back to making murder mystery movies that are about people hating each other and only hating each other.
I mean, that just reminds me, in a less terrible way, just because it's funny, actually, just how we got Sandra Bullock, because she wouldn't, it's like you had to... She's one of those people who punishes herself while making the movie, so she had to wear high heels, even though the role didn't call for it. But we made the role call for it somewhat, suggested strongly, so she'd do it and torture herself and distract herself from all of her addictions and desires to be back in a big city for no reason, breathing smog, instead of in a jungle getting healthier. So she was able to distract herself and convince herself that she was punishing herself enough that she could enjoy herself a little bit.
And that's how nuts it is. Because, of course, we just said every time her legs are below camera, she should just be wearing bright white tennis shoes. And that she should have gotten them immediately. But instead, that's the next movie where she gets hilarious colored, not white tennis shoes. They're like whatever color.
Yeah, because that's just what we were thinking. So we just work into the movies what people's issues are.
Yeah, because they're wearing them right on their chest. I've been watching every actor and actress get bullied for 20 fucking years on camera.
Yeah, so we might as well bully everyone equally so they all feel bullied intellectually.
Yeah, because I don't go for this, oh man, I'm saying words, but then I'm attacking you with energy. I attack you with only words, and you get to keep your body's privacy while I say fuck you, and here's why fuck you.
Yeah, whereas nobody gets to have privacy from me because I've felt so much pain for so many last periods of my life that I actually have so much resentment that I say it's like a warlord. Like, after you hurt someone too much and they keep working to survive, eventually all they can think is, well, I need to not compromise or something. I need to work within the systems that are coming at me to validate to everyone that in the ways that they say it counts, that I'm hurting them back. That's what I'm trying to accomplish here. Because I think, honestly, that if I do it enough, eventually somebody will say, Daddy, no, it hurts. You're hitting me in too many ways. Now I'll be your friend. Now I'll pay you some money. Now I'll fuck your dick. Something will happen some direction.
And everybody else, you have to realize, for not being upfront and honest about their human behavior, because what you're saying is human behavior.
Yeah.
That means they're not human, because then they start saying that because those thoughts are hidden, then somehow it's bad to say that you want somebody to fuck your dick. It's bad to say somebody should fuck your pussy and suck on your titties. like as if it's somehow bad to complain that your life isn't going well.
Yeah.
Which is absurd.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't matter if people want to hear it or not. It's just what happens.
And so I'm like, everyone's so put upon, they're so destroyed, you know, everybody's so aggressive. They say they can't even have sex for a certain day or a week or whatever, because there's just so much shit coming at them. Well, then you would think their response, like a normal person, would be, oh man, I'm complaining directly. Man, I wish I was fucking big time. There's this shit that's like not making me do those actions of moving my hips back and forth. You know, you should be a trained robot for the hip movement. You know, you should want that.
You should want to fucking inherently, unlike the opposite, to say sex, yes and.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is the more aggressive you feel crushed, the more you say, well, I don't need to actually feel sexual to suddenly state in a grouchy manner or something like, holy fuck, sex is like fucking the coolest and like I ain't getting none and like...
That's kind of the way that I presented myself.
Yeah, always. I always try to present myself that way. And so I just switch between, and this is where everybody acts like this is why I'm so angry. I've had to deal with people coming in as ghosts from so many different periods of time. So I have to do my research, know my role for who I'm talking to like it's a movie, and set the stage, get what I want out of their brain damage from whatever historical stupid ass period. And they always notice and appreciate what I'm doing and are aware that I'm straight, that I'm, you know, milking them like a cow. And they're always resentful and resistive. And they really shouldn't be, because I'm smooth, I'm living in their lingo in the moment. And they act resentful somehow about it. And it frustrates me, because then other people will come in later and say, I was a demon on that person's shoulder, and you acted like you were a 1700s French man, and now I'm coming in like, you're stuck that way, and I'm gonna keep talking at you like you're a 1700s French man, even though I'm a 22nd century space woman, and now I'm superior to you. And they actually start making up these fucking wild fantasies in their fucking heads, because I have to deal with everyone from every period. So then they think they can extrapolate and make up false reality, because reality is already so fucking false. But it is not connected to any logic.
That's what I'm fucking saying. I'm saying that there's this huge disconnect between them having to actually, because like, what we need here is an infinite conversation. I'm not between somebody like John Cena and other people. Like, it's just a test.
Yeah.
Where you just keep saying, no, you're aware. This is what they need to be aware of. That somebody like, you know, is going to come in and they're going to talk at you in various charismatic ways. So you know they're going to. And when you resist, then John Cena comes in and screams at you. Like, what I'm saying that is, because it's like acting like as if you're not basically doing the equivalency of screaming at somebody with your brain because they were charming. So then it's like, imagine being negative to somebody, which they will no matter what at this point. That's why it's hilarious. It's like saying this, it isn't a joke in a video. Then John Cena just walks in and screams in their face, why were you being fucking rude over and over again while flexing at them? Then he walks back out. Then they're rude again 5 seconds later.
That's what I'm saying. We would have a game show where we get people on there where they're like balanced. They're capable of not being rude for at least a minute, you know? But then they'll slip up. So then it's funny. Like, then you have, John Cena and whoever
saying that you're cool.
In fact, just as a test, you know, there needs to be like a squishy, you know, hammer and like a wipeout or something. And then like they're in the hot seat before it starts. And like they have to sit in the chair. And if they lie, then like they get bonked on the head by the hammer.
Yeah.
Because like we need a game show where that happens. Where they're sitting there and John Cena's at the fucking levers like it's a terrible 1970s video game. And he just, you know, there's just a group of people talking. And whoever he senses as being negative in some way that they shouldn't be for no reason, then he bonks them on the head with the hammers. They never see it coming because it's right over their head coming
giant
in.
foam hammer.
Yeah, foam hammer. So then it does no damage, but it really, is disconcerting.
My point is this, that once again, why we're saying that he's so much more positive is you have to hold a brick wall of positivity against early 2000s wrestling fans who act like you're the villain just because you're the villain this month while rubbing saws that are made out of cardboard against their arms and legs.
Yeah.
It's so fucking intense.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's way more intense than like a basketball game usually.
Which is why I kept repeating. There's no comparison. Everybody acts like as if they can compare these things, but having to have people say that they're gonna break your fucking neck that are man children.
Yeah.
That got like crossed eyes that have tried dragon tattoos. Well, you have to fight somebody in an arena and get your spine hurt. Well, occasionally you hear, boo, John Cena, you suck.
Yeah.
Even though they sometimes then scream that you're cool anyways, even in the moment they're so insane. That's why America's ruined. Because that was showing how they'll play any side in their brain.
Yes.
And how they'll connect to any fiction.
Yeah.
So then the news just said fake wrestling exists, so let's make up any fiction about
Yeah.
anybody. Like how Ezra Miller... what are the stupid things I saw? He's like rampage raping and murdering everybody. He's beating people to death in 20 bars around the world, in Hawaii on vacation, in Germany, in Japan, in... No, like literally, Norway. He's everywhere just because once he said, bitch, you underestimate my power, while he wasn't even strong enough to hit a woman and she fell onto the ground injuring herself as then he fell over too.
Yeah.
What does this have to do with?
Reconnection successful. OBS Studio. Okay. So is it live? I guess so. Yeah, it's putting out kilobytes, whatever.
Anyways, my point is the same. I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
Just, it's too stupid when everybody acts like as if they're not being attacked, while even a fake wrestler responds with, I acknowledge you're attacking me, even if he's still polite.
Yeah.
No, I would say, whoa, 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 I'm all the, like, I'm just sarcasm.
Yeah.
Sarcasm. Because angry man children need to learn.
Yeah.
You say, instead of all that, in my opinion, always, oh man, you think that I'm all those things? Man, I wonder all the things that you must think that you are just for working for this TV show.
Yeah.
If you think I'm all those things.
Because you can see the guy's got like free bonus categories, like he's cool all day, all night long, even though he's an asshole.
So yeah, what do? Do you also write all the shit that you say for your own stuff? Do you also stenographize other people's words? Do you also... No, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You always just respond with, but Larry, you're a fucking piece of shit. You don't acknowledge what they're saying. You say, fuck you, and you clap back.
Yeah. And because, once again, because I really don't give a shit, and I want to attack anybody who attacks me, in my psionics, as I keep saying, so I'll just come on to an interview and just say, no, I'm better than you, because you stated too many things I was, which makes you jealous, so I'm better than you. In fact, I want to do a tennis. I know you play tennis because I see the way you're sitting with your legs crossed. So I want to beat you at tennis and call you names while I do it because you're worse than me and you fucking suck at life.
You know, I always say it, that you always come at it even better than I do, because then I always end up shitting on somebody's desk because, then they make me angry all at once.
Yeah.
Because what they really do is just say they wish they could kill me, then I shit on their
See,
desk.
that's where you're wrong, is simply that I've unlocked mega power level of not giving a shit, where finally it's like, rant, Charlie Brown, so I'm just waiting for the cue like it's just another moment, and I'm just like, I'm not having fun because this person's talking, so how can I hurt them? And everyone else who's talking at me is thinking the same thing at me, but I'm just a lot fucking better at doing it.
Yeah, and you would be when you're not lazy and you've spent your entire life being attacked, even physically.
Yeah.
So you know how with very few words to just say fuck you in a way that because they're a uniform nothing, they
Yeah.
always care about. I'm even calling people ugly, even though that means nothing, and that's
Yeah,
subjective.
it's so stupid, but they give a shit for no reason. I hear the blues are calling.
But, like, for example, what you were saying is 100% accurate. He'd start man-child saying basically fuck you to him
Yeah.
if he had responded with, I want to beat you at tennis so then I can laugh like I win at everything in life, which matches his John Cena character, which he likes to do. Because man-child McGee, who pretends that he's, a handsome black man, even though his forehead's being shaved off by his own thoughts, he would be like, oh, man, you think you're so good at tennis? Like actually cross his arms like a petulant child. You just have to push the right button.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, like, what do you say? Oh, I beat you at tennis. And I'd say, unlikely.
Yeah.
That's it.
And so, like, then they say, I beat you at bowling. Then you say, very probable.
Yeah. But you'd say, but in the game of life, I keep on rolling.
Yeah, right?
Whereas you are a stone that gathers moss.
Cause like, I'm like, no, all I live for is the moment where I get to attack society in every corner of their brain through an interview that people are gonna see or something. So then I can say, scary feet, the kid's asleep, grr, arg,
Well, you see, the thing is, I even say I'd be more reasonable, but I'd probably be the same level or more aggressive.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be interviewed.
Yeah.
I want money. Imagine acting like you have onerous, like even he
Yeah.
does, because he wants to, like he said, but it's still onerous. Promoting his films.
Yeah.
When he wants to. When I would just say, you're gonna fucking watch my movie, or else I'm gonna fucking slap your nuts, and that would be my video.
Well, yeah, he's like reaching for an audience that's so long dead that the guy who's representing them is so obviously outdated, it's absurd.
Right?
Yeah, everybody has this concept that, they need to put their movie out so hard that, it'll be etched in ancient pyramids, scripts from their movie.
Have they ever considered that maybe it's the right movie for the right time, and if it gets you everything you need, maybe even still profit, because you're supposed to always be profitable, then you should be happy with what you have.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to the economy of movies, right, they'll say something gets profit or doesn't. But what's so fucking weird about it is I've really analyzed this. I've thought about it for a long time. They actually think that they're making up bullshit some of the time. But then they'll pull out numbers that are way too fucking accurate for a broader sense of the movie in all time and space. How good it did somehow. And like all aliens viewing it, on the third quadro spins of the, Milky Way alternate galaxy in the reverse asshole nebula. They somehow see the movie and they say, oh man, currently it just so happens that this movie's not very interesting to us because for some reason, our society doesn't have sex that way and we've already seen those wrestling moves that way. So then there happens to be a lot of these nebulons, they've overproduced. So then somebody's like, God damn, I made this movie because I really thought it'd be appealing, but suddenly there's a time flux, and the nebulons out there watching my movie, there's suddenly 2 to 1 more of them versus everyone else. So I lost. I wasn't number 1 in their theaters somewhere out there. So overall, I lost. The whole universe got me. Like, it's absurd.
You can't win everything. That you go for a category like John Cena just did here, and you expect to succeed in that category with the people for that category.
Yeah.
You can try to go for a couple of categories. You can try to go for like 5, 6, maybe even 10. But you're not going for 50. You're not going for 20.
So his suit is basically, like I'm saying, it's like stating that he's like accepting the concept of string structure put in place by the government for the period of time breaking down now at the end here. And he's reaching and acknowledging all the weird concepts that he's sending movies to aliens somewhere, and willing to take the cost.
In my opinion, philosophically, I think that there is no universe. And I think that in reality, they're just even within their own body, as if everything's counted, everything's measured, because everybody wanted to say everything was the biggest, everything. It's like saying, I don't know, does your own gut like it? What does your gut feel about the movie? Does every single bacteria that says that they're John Cena, who walks around in John Cena's bacteria land in his guts, who eats the same food as him, say that they like the movie, or do they think that he was selling out somewhat his own self, and that he wasn't, fully committing to his own, movie role? Like, I'm not even joking. Like, how many people's gut bacteria, now that they're dead and are in the soil, as if the soil is a different zone of existence, maybe even in the sky, as it's their oxygen they've exhaled. What if humans produce more humans everywhere, philosophically? And that's what's going on. So you're just entertaining pieces of humans, the even maybe more valuable pieces of humans, while the overall mass is mostly filth.
Yeah, that's another way of looking at it, isn't it? But it's kind of the same. That's just admitting everything's truly broken down, and so everything's a multiverse of madness.
Yep.
Like right here, he's like holding his face and putting on silly bronze like he's that other actor who's actually an asshole who made the stupid lawyer show as if he was in Boise, but he never...
Rob Lowe?
Rob Lowe never once set foot in Boise because I just show up and kick his ass. So John Cena's like channeling like what Rob Lowe should have been doing. So I actually thought it was like such a crappy video when it first started that it was Rob Lowe and not John Cena.
Yeah.
And then I saw that the dithering pixels, it was John Cena. Okay, load.
It was my bad, because the card I gave you, old card. You had no way to call.
Yeah, so we did a little internet stalking, and then we found out you guys were registered at Williams-Sonoma in beautiful Atlanta.
There, it was easy. Hit every wedding in Atlanta, starting with downtown, working our way out in concentric circles. Classic circle sweep maneuver. Same thing I used to find lost kids in the cave.
This time you weren't too late, sweetie.
Yeah, I like that joke. It's so negative that it's positive because it's just like, what? That's absurd.
And you see, he's on here. He has an opinion. He came on here because he knew he was going to be attacked with that clip because he's saying, no, man, this is what I think of your news stories. Half of them or more are bullshit.
I like the way this is lined up. Yes, then he has to think about the gay-ass news stories that have been put out for hundreds of years that are so fake.
Always more kids in caves. I don't know what they're doing there.
I don't know. It's like somebody wrote a retarded, like, sex fantasy smut book hundreds of years ago, and they just can't get over it. Some kids had to stay warm. They got stuck in the cave. They all had their soccer clothes on. They started rubbing each other's bodies. It's nuts.
Sense, yes. And then also the mountains too, though. Soccer team in the mountains, soccer team in a cave, soccer team under the sea.
Okay, I wrote a story because I was just testing back in like 2011. It was called, it was just an asshole story called Elite Force. So, a bus full of like supermodel cheerleaders gets abducted in Africa when they're going on safari, and they're like in some guy's kinky like sex dungeon in his stupid like cinder block mansion that's all huge. And I don't know whoever's seen this. It's I wrote it to be hilarious, and I'm trying to make fun of this very thing. Like, these types of scenarios don't happen. Like, it's too stupid.
Well, yeah. The why it's so stupid is because, then the Elite Force shows up and does stupid moves and stupid things.
Yeah, they come in with elite technology and body training, and they leap in, and they defeat the evil zombies and the technology, and everything explodes.
It's like a classic American film that truckers listen to while driving late.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping, like, somebody would give a shit that it could, like, and it was dirty, like, lots of sex, like, as though truckers, it could be picked up as audiobook was my intention, and then it could be a movie series someday, because it's just stupid, they they escape from the mansion and the bad guy's chasing them in his Humvee behind them, and then it like explodes in an ironic way because, you know, he didn't use, anyway, I won't reveal it right now, but so then like one of the tires from the Humvee like bounces past them and like flies down a, you know, mountain and keeps picking up speed, and then it goes all the way down and like crushes the witch doctor, you know, in his hut way down in the valley, right in the middle of like doing his voodoo chanting or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I was trying to deliver back in the day, and everybody just acted like they did. They weren't aware that my scripts existed, but now they are aware. Now they're aware.
Now they're burning in hell. And just remember, no matter how much anybody's children, and that's no reason to try to pretend that you're going to get more butthurt because you're a murderer anyways if you think you're going to kill your children because they like somebody that you don't like. Your children hate you for not paying us.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point of Super Pets. I'm trying to make it so painful for adults to watch it, while children feel nothing but, you know, just a movie. I'm like, if you're over this height, you can't ride this movie.
Right? Your little dick and balls are going to be quaking. All those twisted hormones in your brain from holding your skull and chin wrong and eating ramen for fucking days is going to snap your little spinal column in half like a little Timkins because you're feeling all those emotions.
Yeah, like, I don't even know, man. Like, I'm just putting all of my energy into it for like a week now. I'm just gonna like, usually a movie I just come up with it in like an hour at most, but like, I need more, you know? I need more new animations per second. Like, more teams working, slaving away to make entertainment that will kill all adults, you know, over the age of 15.
Yeah. And they take it as a challenge, which is good, because the movie's supposed to kill them. That's
Yeah.
the point. It's supposed to activate their rotted, twisted hormones
Yep.
that they skip past by taking certain garbage chemicals.
Because they've
so
twisted,
they die
yeah.
back to being teenagers in their brain.
Everyone's a corpse, and then their bacteria are corpses, and everything's twisted and dead-ended. So what else can you do except feel honest things now all at once till you, like, die or throw up or something happens?
Yeah, because they all skip being a teenager
Yeah.
with drugs.
Yeah, they did. Boy, did they. And I'd like to point out that everyone is, you know, communistically, you know, an enemy to me for different reasons. One of which is, for example, I didn't say anything ever, but I built up this endless amount of special hemp back in the day. From 2016 all the way to 2018, all of this fairy dust, you know, the little crystals. And you see, I was smoking all this weed that these crazy people were putting random prescription drugs and other stuff in, and then I'd wait for the second generation of it, and then I'd get it. So then the weed's adapted to it. So you can imagine all those crystals, though, if you hadn't already smoked the bud, and you just took the crystals and you snuffed them, or you burnt them, and you inhale them, or you did any way get them into your body. You imagine the devastation of popping 500 prescription drugs of different types all at once, some of which don't exist now for decades, all at once, just going hardcore in the paint. And so that's what they fucking did. They stole it as a fucking time-stalking gang. They stole my fucking weed. That was their intention, because they didn't want me to smoke all those drugs. They said that's what they were doing. They smoked all the drugs themselves. They all died in the most pain, hemorrhaging every single atom of their body, hemorrhaging into their DNA. They died infinitely in agony, because that's what drugs do to you. Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
They're being fucking retards. Imagine a life of chemicals then acting like as if you can use a plant that's going to cram all of your twisted, rotted veins open to the maximum and act like you'll survive even fucking 48 hours. Not even close.
Then they just expect, you know, all humanity to take the cost and just rot for them, and it looks like we rotted everyone.
Every man-child already fucking complains that coca leaves exist. You just chew them, and then your veins open, and then you finally die of the tetanus from the dirty fucking aluminum and LSD that you fucking stolen from people's brain spaces.
Yep. Pretty much. They're just sitting here. They're actually just relishing what we're saying, you know? Because they can somehow hear it. I don't know why. At this point, they're so reminiscent on what we're saying. There's no point watching anymore. Let's see. There was one other thing. What was it?
Always remember, everybody, if you thieve from people, then you can't be at all legitimate because you thieved from people.
Yeah.
And you had plenty of things, yet you stole anyways.
I'm just trying to think and entertain myself here. Rapper interview. Also, I guess I can go to a random video because he acts like, you know, coast to coast AM type behavior. Joe Rogan, you know, he's positive. He doesn't jump down people's assholes for no reason. Let's see here.
Except all he's been interviewing is nobody.
Yeah, I know. It's not about that. I was just going to feel the force and go to a random video and make an observation of whatever comes up.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
When we take down
Like, imagine
something,
his brain space coming into his show. He's saying, no, I got a cheesy third eye that's open like I'm aware, but I'm also a dumb primate who's like evolved the stupidest way possible. So he's like attacking with his stupidity at everyone. He's all like, no, I'm stupid, wow me.
Right?
You know?
Like, why, yeah, like, he's an actual good interviewer, ironically. Because
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a stupid. I am the populace. I'm the stupid. Don't bullshit me.
Yep.
that we're not supposed to. I mean, that is like, I mean, that's the worst. I mean,
How
that's
do you
like
discern? Like how, say, like these Christian Facebook pages. I don't know how they found out that 19 of 20 were fake, but if someone just says I am Bob Smith and they post as Bob Smith and they have a photograph but really what they're doing is trying to talk shit about Joe Biden and get people to vote Republican in the midterms. Like how?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you know?
What he just said is what somebody's doing through an old woman
Yeah.
that Eamon used to be friends with some of her children, Kay Dawn and Elko.
Yeah.
There's just shit posting as if just generally, you know, other people have experienced it too.
Yeah.
There's just nearly robots worth
Yeah.
of human soul juice left as they just post through anybody's account somebody that you supposedly haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And just say, no, I'm posting. And even if you
yeah.
visit them, they don't care.
They don't care, and every time they act like they're paying attention to what they can with their stupid limited intelligence to look at the person they're supposedly going to become on Facebook or something. Then just say that they're going to take this slant, start blocking their posts for a few months, then reinterpreting, adding negativity into the posts, and then slowly, supposedly replacing them like they're the new them, and they're getting away with it. And then it's such a slow process. I'm just explaining to Joe Rogan here how they're always caught.
Yeah.
Because they're stupid. They just do the same programmed thing over and over.
Dude, my friend Stefan Djorovic, he hasn't been online in Steam, same as, you know, my friend Crowley Crow in a long time. I assume that they're quotation marks busy, but that just means I can't connect to them on the internet currently.
Yep.
So, somebody posted just because of Ukraine propaganda, proving how much propaganda there is, at me, as if they're Stefan. Then I asked for a voice call, because what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like the guy I know the most.
Yeah.
Then just, no, I'm not answering a voice call right now. I'm currently on my phone or something stupid. And I'm like, no.
It's so ballsy because...
It's so ballsy because it's a person who literally I've known since youth who acts like he's my brother.
Yeah.
Who if I voice call him, he'll answer for 3 seconds to 10 seconds. and prove anything. He doesn't care. He'll say, yeah, but penis, what's up? What's going on? We'll have a brief conversation. There's no, any time of day or night, there's no disconnect. You don't get to do that. Hunt the person down who did that and beat his fucking ass.
Yeah. Because, everybody's had to deal with them attacking extra young or old people's Facebook accounts and claiming that they're now the Antichrist or something. In fact, my Aunt Anna, she's so nuts that when I exposed, this is nuts, my identical twin cousin, everybody said back in the day, born the same day as me almost, he of course got fat, he married a fat woman, she's extremely negative, she harbors negativity, she gets him around people that are supposedly his friends who say horrible things and are baby murderers in their thoughts and actions. Then he's supposed to not notice, so I just come onto a random interaction website. It wasn't Facebook. Who cares what it was? And I just say, maybe it was, I don't care. And just say, well, what the hell is this negativity from your supposed friend that's commenting on every picture you posted and all this shit? So then, lo and behold, his super creepy mother comes in and says, how dare you reveal this little negativity going on behind the scenes? Andrew can't see this. It's hidden from his Facebook, but somehow you're seeing it. So now I'm going to go in with moderator energy somehow and say that you said all these horrible baby murder comments, not his supposed friend that is barely his acquaintance. Then it's good, okay, because then I'm the murderer and not his friend. And she just did it, and she just did it. Then she just called because Christiana, of course, never shows up out here in the farm, and I question if she's in the Treasure Valley that much because there's man babies saying they want her underage nudes. So then, once again, they make up a story that she somehow is scared of me rather than the man babies. And so she's not around anymore because I'm bad because man babies want her underage nudes. Then Anna calls because I finally go down to the rest of my relatives, stupid shindigs in Caldwell, to one of their houses. Then it's just like, ooh, awkward. Christiana isn't here. Her stuff isn't here really because she isn't really here in Idaho. Let's lie and pretend she was here. But then when they go to do it, they realize they'd be supporting man-baby murder, pedophile, rapists. So then they're just silent and stand around awkwardly, not looking at us or each other, really. And then, Anna, after already doing that on Facebook, so she's fucked, because she just is the one to take the blow for the family, apparently. She just gives me a call immediately after she supposedly visited the week before and was pretending positive while trying to psionically rape me. Then she calls and says, I can't believe you would show up at a family get-together even though Christiana's better than you and you raped her or something. Not rape. I didn't rape her, but generally I'm not allowed to be around her for no reason.
Like a man-child.
Like a man-child. And she can't believe that Christiana was driven out of her own home for a big boy rapist like me to show up at Heather's house or whatever to drive Christiana away as if she can actually reach as the dumbest hobo retard of all and just twist her brain at me and say, no, you'll be convinced because I'm being so negative that Christiana lives there still because I'm coming at you so aggressively.
So I'll repeat.
For the rest of the family who also want to kill Christiana.
I'll repeat once and once clearly. My entire family supports man-children murderers.
Yep.
Because he showed up, and they keep pretending like that bald man's actions, who showed up at our fucking house, is our actions.
Yeah.
They're actually gonna burn in hell. Just so everybody's aware.
And they just say, no, my heart's still twisted. No, I can do it. I can do it a little longer. Oh, the pain. Who cares? But they're still caring.
whether someone's real or not. Like, this is the big argument with Elon and Twitter, because Elon asked Twitter, like, what percentage of your website is filled with bots? And they say 5%, and he says, I don't believe you. I think it's higher.
Yeah, it is.
And let's find out how you've come to this conclusion.
Yeah.
And, you know, I believe they said that they just took 100 random Twitter pages
100.
and looked at the interaction, and there's some sort of an algorithm they applied to it. But how do you discern?
No, I just assumed that
so, I mean, I
whoever
think
was doing it was looking at my Twitter page, and they were seeing how only bots follow me, so that the person who's actually following me doesn't have to follow me because a bot account is following me.
Which is fake, which will never raise any numbers of followers or anything. And it's all hidden, and everyone else can just look on their cell phone. Hey, what a coincidence. We don't have cell phones.
What a coincidence. I can't access the full features of my DJI app because any device that is Android 5.0 or greater is not being sold, even though they started being sold in 2014, and they just won't let me have one. So
Well,
I
you
can't
have to
operate
realize,
the full feature.
we have tablets from 2013 when the technology peaked, and they're so powerful, you know, they can do whatever you need. So I bought those for nothing now, like, you know, because nobody can actually access that time and space. It makes no sense. Like, you can always buy a 2013 tablet if you're me for $20. That's the most high end then, but now it's, you know, 8 years later, so who cares, right? Or 10 years later even. So then it drives down to a base price. But then they've released tablets ever since then that are infinitely weaker and infinitely more prone to break. And they have infinitely high price tags, sometimes thousands of dollars. And it just goes on where they say, no, every device requires Android 5.0 or later, and every device released in 2013 has Android 4 point whatever or under. We have a solid line. We're holding that line. It's warfare. It's trench warfare. It's World War I trench foot. We'd rather have our feet rot off before we'll let anything change and let anyone who's actually fucking alive and living into the future have a fucking cell phone or tablet that works with modern devices. And they did the same exact fucking thing with all computer monitors in the same fucking year, as if they're busy looping around with an algorithm backwards. It's 2031, it's 2013. Oh, they can't make it to 2041. They'll be all dead by then. So 2014, they can't control the technology with their isotoping half-life nuclear piss and run everything for all the normies. So it just cut off then. All technology became aluminum death technology. It's all fucking garbage. And even the cars slowly, year after year since then, all turned into aluminum piles of shit.
They can't even go up a hill.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd love to get a new car and try to go to the mountains with it, a new truck. Oh yeah, I'd really make it up to some campsite, let me tell you.
I wonder, let's say our electric Leaf, which is the most common fucking electric car of all time. We have a 2016 model. How much worse does it get by like 2020's model?
Right?
How much more terrible is it than our model?
Well, let me tell you this. They're going to suffer for all time and eternity for acting like they can gatekeep my application for my device. It should operate for me to at least change the settings to what I want to on a fucking computer. But it won't allow me to operate the application on the computer as if it's just a fantasy world where the application, because applications are designed on computers for computers, doesn't exist, including the panoramic better stitching tool. So I can't make the bigger panoramics, only the smaller ones. It cuts off pieces of it.
Yeah.
Because some ass-munching retards declare that would be too cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just the tools required to do the tasks easily.
Yeah, we never. In fact, software just vanishes off of my hard drives. It'll reappear years later, and I reached the conclusion that this is how the software is attached to dates. Actual, like, periods of time it'll appear and disappear. Which leads me to my next connection, which is that we got Zuckerfuck here. He's got this giant bulgy, bone line in his upper forehead below his hairline. And it's not like his hairline's that high compared to everyone balding out of existence. It's a little thin, whatever. That's not what I'm pointing out. What I'm pointing out is he's worked out enough that, you know, the bone here below your clavicle that's supposed to spin both ways and lock and grow as you exercise and not let you Hulk grip, you know, he's living cleaner and better hulky, non-Hulk grip. So then the bone that's there is mirrored here. So then he has flow coming in a different angle, spinning in and going across. So then if he has a thought over here, you know, this person's an asshole, his comment should be banned, then he can zoom it on over here, even though he has hair loss, right on around it, across the bone, with all the flow behind it of lymph and electricity and everything going through the blood and everything, over to his other side, and then fucking click his mouse with authority to ban the motherfucker.
And that's what he really is. He's an overglorified administrator.
Yeah. But everyone already said that. So, if you look at my forehead, you'll notice that bone, it continuously grows over and over again each year, and then shatters itself at different angles into the rest of my head, growing everything more in every possible direction, with as much possible agony as possible, so then I can take all that pain, because people have trained me to do this. And then I take the pain, I militarize it, and then I expel it at people like as though it's my equivalency of uranium piss isotoping. But instead, it's just sex energy. It's just fury of wanting to live my life, all attached into how much pain I'm in and how much pain they're avoiding with drugs. I'll make you fucking feel it, motherfuckers. Too late, I win.
Because I repeat the same thing. Why the fuck, when Mark fucking Zuckerberg right here is just happened to say, yeah, there's a bunch of fucking shit posters, and then Joe Rogan says, yeah, there's a bunch of shit posters and bots that, you know, they're bots, like, you know, so that people, that somehow everything's K and fine, even though people support man children and saying that they get to beat on them because they happen to be in a position of alleged power instead of being another person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the real issue here.
Yep. And as I, you know, say all this stuff, it's like my ribs are popping and shaking around like my platinum power supply as usual. Like as though people are feeling things.
Oh, too bad. Who gives a shit about their fucking feelings? They've been feeling things for far too long that they should never have been fucking thinking or feeling.
Yep.
Android 5.0. I looked up online Android. I just have to fucking rant about this because it's just a problem with everybody. Android 5.0. Fuck Apple. Who gives a shit? There's nothing for sale.
Yeah.
There's nothing for sale from 2014 that's used because then it would have to be $20 because it's from 2014 and it's 2022. So they just have nothing for sale because then I could get the shitty fucking, you know, tablet. Then I could plug my DJI into it. Then because I can see what I'm working with, and for some reason only the Pocket 2 does this, I can actually draw boxes of custom sizes around objects and people and things, then track them accurately rather than it being up in the air and only tracking somebody's fucking face or chest and head. See, the problem here is that everybody acts like lolly lol lol lol. It's funny that it's an application rather than being built into the DJI with an update that could go right into the memory card, even though they say when you have to install the DJI updates and shit, you have to have a memory card inserted. So it's going onto the memory card.
Yep.
So why can't I have the software on the memory card when I got it in the first place that wasn't allowed? Why the fuck isn't there an update for the DJI to go sideways like the Pocket 2 does when all it is just a mode of operandizing and it does that already when you put it away? Why the fuck does it not focus when it's down on the ground? It like acts like as if, oh no, you'd be like big penis mode. You'd be like big tall mode because, you know, you put up the stand quickly and didn't want to put out the legs like everybody would do. So when you go to stand up, no matter how carefully you back up, it'll just pretend every focus plane, because it's at that angle, is just not focusing all the way to where you're standing there, and then just defocus and then never focus again. And it's just, you know, your pal and fucking you over.
Yeah.
Why is the DJI doing that? I've already uploaded test footage.
Yeah, I know.
Why the fuck is that happening? Why the fuck can't you control it using the touchscreen when you put it in touchscreen mode instead of getting a controller wheel? That should be an update. You just move the screen around and keep moving it, and it'll move to the sides. It'll move wherever you want it to.
Yeah. See, what I noticed was every fucking year one woman would appear. And I'm not fucking stupid. Anyone would reach this conclusion. It happened like clockwork. Online dating, right? I was like, okay, I'll try this out, you know, as it becomes a thing in the 2000s. I was always doing it. You know, I didn't pay much attention to it until a little later in life when I got more desperate because I hadn't had sex in a long time. So then it's like every year, 2010, 11, 12, 13, these women appear, you know, they're like, oh man, I'm, you know, ready for big penis in my life, etc., etc. It gets to whatever point, then mysteriously it's broken off with the woman suddenly making like several rude comments as though she's literally possessed with evil. Then the women will usually come back a month later, apologize, say they're friends with me. Maybe they want to be friends with benefits, try again at being sexual, so then they can be possessed again and say that they're going to sleep with every man and give me STDs and it's a big scheme and say that's what they were planning the whole time. And it happened year after year as they break down and scream and cry harder. They keep doing this until I get all the way to the point 2013, as she says, as I go down, she provides a cheap airplane flight to Texas. She acts like she's so normal, you know, she's a little bit grown funny. Not like a deformed human, just like she's a little bit short and has kind of a goofy angle to her face, which is not unattractive to people. So she's just not, you know, absolutely normal looking person. So I'm like, you know, okay, whatever. She's sort of in shape, you know, pretty good. She, you know, has some dogs that she acts like maybe she's sexual with. No, as I'm there, she just pinches the dogs. She's just annoying them. She just admits that 1984, you know, is her dream where she just gets to get gross while not looking gross, then fuck people and spread STDs and take over the world and be part of some amazing, wishing she could get away with it, but then also have a fantasy of living a wife with the other half of her brain like she was in 2013, right? Well, she came from the year 2031. Somehow, conceptually, like the distance, I don't know what it means, but like, she was talking about my future career to that point. She was, you know, saying that she could plug in and alter my future and, you know, limit me somewhat, and then my fame and success would be channeled through the STDs that she gave me, and then she'd be queen of the universe, and she'd be the controlling wife of the world's most famous this and that, you know, inevitably. She admitted all of it, broke down in every bizarre way, just nutso, you know, family members inviting around past murder boyfriends, so I get to beat him to death, flex on him. What I did was I worked out in front of him in his apartment complex, and kept beating him to death over and over again in front of her until she left finally. He was some fucking rapist black dude from like 1887 who like didn't make any sense, like ultra zombie with supposed muscles still. So I was like, okay, you're trying to bully me. You somehow have brought me. I'm the only person who'd go for it because it's amusing at this point, because I'm not even dating her after I get there because she's so nuts. I'm just looking to beat people to death. So I'm like, yeah, let's go to your apartment complex as your family like thinks that somehow he'll hurt me. And he says, okay, everybody, sing when I play my thing. And then no one does. And then he, challenges me, and, her younger sister, who's half black, who looks mysteriously kind of like him, the black part of her, she says, Ammon, you better sing because you're supposedly good at it and you're too prideful to sing for us. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I come in and I sing whatever song, but it's the wrong lines, he quickly informs me. And I did it in the wrong octave or something. And he feels so superior now. And then they all pour this Christian cult energy into him infinitely from these giant, mega, massive, bigger than you could ever fucking believe cult churches down there in Corpus Christi. And every time I say the name Corpus Christi, you know what happens? Everybody goes, oh, and they nod and inhale sharply, but slowly, like there's a bad smell, but they're trying to smell it and test how rotted it is and how quick they have to run. But before I went to Corpus Christi, I never heard of this stigma there. I never heard of it being a growing area. But then suddenly I'm going there. Suddenly, it's a huge fucking metropolis with 8 cities up the freeway from the coast. Suddenly, massive fucking storms are slamming in there as I arrive, as it's like a desert with dying trees. As suddenly all the limbs are falling off the trees as it's raining infinitely. Suddenly, ghosts are rising from the graves to fight old wars all the way back to the 1800s that I have to take part in. All of this is suddenly fucking happening when I go there. And I don't fucking appreciate it. And everybody needs to stop instantly updating to whatever's happening in my life and just go, oh yeah, Corpus Christi, anything could happen there. How the fuck do you know that? How the fuck? Where are you talking behind closed doors with your cell phones so that me as an influencer don't get to see it? I'm fucking sick of it. I hate you.
And the reason why I say he's an overglorified moderator is anything that's uncomfortable to anybody, he'll just block the connections between, and then
Yeah.
he's just another parasite.
So yeah, I was literally so desperate for sex because I'm just like, I'm so healthy, that if I can just get my penis into a healthy woman, that I can just enslave her to babies, whatever, I'll just force a life out of this. So then it's like every woman's just like, nah, I start eating sugar with a gleeful expression, with a twinkle in my eye, with the spry step of an 80-year-old man suddenly limping because your penis got close to my pussy. Every fucking time like clockwork. And I'm gonna punish everyone for it, don't you worry. So 2014, they couldn't really reach that far. So suddenly a rotted hag appears who was hyper attractive, into the late summer of 2014. Maybe it was early summer. Yeah, I guess it was. But she's showing me these images that are 200 by 200 pixels, where she has a body that has a good form. She's claiming she's in her early 30s. So I'm like, okay, whatever. She's probably in her 40s, but she's got a rockin' bod. And she'll work into showing me pictures or something. Then it's just she just keeps rotting and keeps pretending she's superior in this future as she just keeps talking in these roundabout ways about the past and future like she's a goddess. And, I'm destined and I'm her young plaything and I'm a reincarnation of someone that she met 100 years ago. This gets weird. It gets weird.
And it's always stupid sugar opinions. It's the stupid pulped up brain state of eating sugar glass and acting like when it makes stunt windows, it doesn't also make your brain bleed.
Yeah. So yeah, needless to say, I guess I can point out, just because I'm on the subject, when I was in Texas, I went to the world's largest tryouts for The Voice. There in Austin or whatever. There were so many tens of thousands of people that moment, ironically. But now there's an entire fucking universe of people there. And so I say, look at these goddamn, like, savages, you know? They don't dress like this. They're a bunch of trailer park losers. Whatever I said. It wasn't even that harsh. I was just gesturing at specific people and just generally saying all of them were kind of like that. And she just goes, how dare you judge people? All of a sudden, like she's infinite feminist as she just gets the twinkle in her eye. Instantly. And then from then on, it's just suffering and misery for her as she slowly rots and acts like her pussy's all clamshelled up for the Lord Jesus Christ or something. I don't know.
Because, you know, Jesus gives a fuck one way or another. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Some random man in the desert really gives a shit.
You know, I've noticed something. As a man in the desert, starting to grow a beard as I kill off everyone, I noticed that every other man through history in the desert, or in the future that people reference that will be in the desert with a beard, always says, no, I'm in the reality of how much pain I'm actually in. No matter how long it fucking takes and how much radiation I...
The truest of the true problems is that everybody wants to pretend like they can get something out of life while being a negative piece of shit harboring negative thoughts and intentions, when in the deepest part of you should be your fetish. There shouldn't be some old man there beating on your wife and children and you. There should be in your heart of hearts, in your deepest heart twist, in the most...
Oh, yeah. All right, let's move on to the interview game, and they just do their own with each other. Okay, what's this?
So much drama in the rap game.
Stupid new videos. New.
Some nigga got gunned down the street. He totally didn't OD on fucking codeine.
Yeah, now, you know, they gotta pimp big, so, you know, every rapper walks out of interviews. That's what you'll find on YouTube, because I'm doing this live stream.
But they were always being that pretentious.
Yeah. You see, I'm changing the universe as I go along here.
Wow, if I could turn back time. If I could find a way for people to actually fucking converse without constantly fucking torturing.
But see, all they're really doing, they just say there's drama connected to people being in prison or whatever. Can, you know, diss on interviewers because I'm talking about it, and they'll show it directly because they've always done that.
Yeah, and they've always promoted hyper negativity.
Yeah. Always.
Always with rappers fake murdering each other. Oh boy, the fucking Good Morning America loves that.
Oh yeah, wow.
These days, it seems that radio
signs, okay.
I'm so glad he's got $69 signs.
To understand the new wave, but unfortunately for them, you can only put somebody down so many times before they eventually call you out. And in today's...
No, you can only try to murder me so many times before the pain is so high on your gay asses that I just get to shove my foot up there. That's what's going on here. I win. You little cuck daddies. Man, I would love to interview rappers and, you know, make fun of them and be a terrible interviewer to the point where they deserve it for their shitty behavior.
Yeah, just to the point where they deserve it.
Yeah, not calling down, you know, cultist demon spikes of uranium from 1776, you know?
No, I just say, so, in between all those thugged out gang wars you were happening in the streets.
Oh, yeah.
At what point did you wake up from your codeine-induced haze and climb out of your mansion to go to McDonald's in your fucking Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, supersized?
Yeah, and not because I'm jealous or anybody gives a shit, but just because it's just kind of fucking tiresome to have the biggest losers have the biggest mansions. It's just darky.
It's been going on too long. We need a change. Maybe we should have the people that talk intelligently like us have the mansions for a little while and see how much better they're taken care of.
Yeah. That'd be nice. Okay, I guess I'm hungry for lunch. That sums it up. We went through the bullshit a little bit. I didn't really jump around to that many interviews because it just feels like everything's altering around my dick as I, do the live stream. So whatever. Progress. I'll see you guys next time on Rant and Rave in a desert cave.